Suburban's on the way. Hey, hey, whoa. They say when I pull up in a whoa. Yeah, they say that they got me, I said no. Met a shorty, yeah, the shorty says she's solo, but she don't wanna be alone, no. Don't disturb me when I'm in the zone. She made 100 racks on the road. She got a Birkin bag, she drive a Range Rover, but she don't wanna be alone. No, she don't wanna be alone. Hey, she don't wanna be alone. Whoa, they say when I pull up in a whoa. Yeah, they say that they got me, I said no. Met a shorty, yeah, the shorty says she's solo, but she don't wanna be alone, no. Don't disturb me when I'm in the zone. She made 100 racks on the road. She got a Birkin bag, she drive a Range Rover, but she don't wanna be alone. I've been living on a fast lane. 22 on my gold chain. Gucci shirt with the ball mains. They switched on me, but I won't change. What you want, yeah, I got it. Yeah, they say that they got me, but they plotting. Yeah, they say that they want me cause I'm popping. Yeah, they say they in the trap, but they ain't. I've been on the road, tryna put me on a hold. Now my bros are on the roll, no good 3 nights in a row. They be hating, she don't care about what they say. Don't you worry, got Suburbans on the way. Got Suburbans on the way. Hey, hey, whoa. They say when I pull up in a whoa. Yeah, they say that they got me, I said no. Met a shorty, yeah, the shorty says she's solo, but she don't wanna be alone, no. Don't disturb me when I'm in the zone. She made 100 racks on the road. She got a Birkin bag, she drive a Range Rover, but she don't wanna be alone. No, she.
What's going on, everybody? Okay, so today I have a good friend of mine. He's a musician. He's a singer. He's a songwriter. He's an awesome singer, actually. He's traveled the world. He's been on TV. I don't know what else I can say about him. Other than that, we talk about a lot of things over the past couple of years. We talk about motivation. We talk about what it's like to live as an artist, especially on your own, starting out and trying to make it, and just how to keep yourself going and motivation, all these type of things. We also talk about relationships, which is actually quite often as well. So his name is Hanford Shum. He's a good friend of mine. We're just gonna sit around. It's just two friends just hanging out and talking about relationships, motivation, inspiration, all these type of things. If you guys have any questions, pop into the comments. Let me just bring them in right now. All right, yo, Hanford, what's going on, brother?
Hey everyone, how's it going, man? Glad to be here, man.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
I like the Christmas decorations you got going, man. You're already ready for the festive season.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is my first time, because normally when we call, I use the
Yeah.
online Skype, and this time I decided to actually get the app, and let me tell you, like, I was like, holy, there's a lot of different options here, and I was like, oh, should I have like a plain background in the back or change something out? But it's almost Christmas, and been listening to a lot of Christmas songs and everything, so I decided that, some good Christmas backgrounds would be
Usually I have
nice.
like a co-host, and here's one. He's usually the one with the with the background. It's like every time he's got one time he got like a whole bunch of ladies lying down on the beach. The second one was like a couple hugging, kissing in the background. I was like, this is our theme, I guess.
What happened to him though? What?
Well,
Why is he
today
not here
I
today?
decided to just do the solo because I was like, you know what, I've known you for so many years, and I was just like, it'd be kind of cool if it's just gonna be just the two of us because we have so much history, and we talk when we talk, there's almost like there's no room for a third person to speak, so
All
I
right.
didn't want him to feel left out, so I was like, you know what, it's just gonna be the two of us.
All right.
Um, you know,
Sounds good, man.
um,
Sounds good.
yeah. How's your day been, by the way?
It's been good. Today, I mean, for those who are not in Toronto, It started snowing. So,
Oh yeah.
basically, stayed home and worked on a new song. I have this song coming up. Been collabing with this one producer. He's based in Greece, and
Yeah.
been working on the tunes today and preparing and just waiting for this incredible podcast
This
happening.
podcast experience, which is pretty amazing. It's funny. Hanford and I attempted to start a podcast years ago, and Hanford was, I think it was my first guest. And that podcast never aired. I never put it out there. It was just straight audio. There was no video.
Do you still have
Um,
it?
I still have it. I gotta pull it up and just to like look it up and be like, what did we talk about? Um, I wish we had video. I gotta say, I think one thing I love about video is that you get memories, man. You get like, I want the memories. That's what I
Kept that, man.
want.
Should have kept
I
that,
gotta,
man.
I gotta pull, I gotta pull that up. And that time, you were in, you were flying back and forth. You were in China. You were singing in
Probably.
China. I think you just flew back for the holidays, and I was like, "You're coming on for the podcast," and you're like, "Cool." Or maybe you were, or was it? Were you back in Toronto, or were we doing the podcast while you were remote over there?
Honestly, I don't remember, man. It's been so long. I mean, I've known you since I don't know, man, like
Years.
almost 8, more than 7 years,
I think it's
man,
more than
because
it's probably been a decade. I think we've known each other.
probably 10 years, yeah, because I met you in uni
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
York, and I remember meeting you in is it singing class or was it
Singing.
was it guitar class? It was
No,
singing
we
class,
were.
right?
I think we were. Yeah, we started off in singing
It was
class, and then
the classical
and then we
singing.
took guitar together. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh,
Yeah, it was classical singing.
yeah.
And I sat beside you. I'm like, hey, I still remember this day. I was like, hey, how's it going, man? Like, and then I think you're like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, my name's Hanford. What's your name? Dipple. I'm like, what, Nipple? And they're like, oh, Dipple. Oh, hey, nice to meet you, man. And I was just like, oh,
And I
I'm
was like,
so
"Is it
stoked.
Hanford?" You're not like, "No, it's Hanford." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
Yeah. Yeah, people get my name wrong all the time. Yeah. But yeah, ever since that day, we sat beside each other
You progressed like crazy.
in
So,
class and
so
stuff,
just so everybody understands
you
the
know?
story, we started as doing classical singing, and this is years ago. I'm obviously I didn't do any practice. I just started to try and get into singing now, but we took this class, and Hanford progressed so quickly, so fast that he became. I think by the end of the year, you were like this professional singer that was like really amazing. And me, I was like, not good. Like, don't even bother. Don't even attempt this anymore. But I think that's when your singing career really took off because you got really good really fast, and then yeah, you just kept your voice just kept getting better and better and better. I think I even have like old videos of your performances from then.
Maybe, yeah. I mean now I think I have a lot more videos on YouTube to cover those old ones, but I think there was this one at the end of the
Yeah,
classical the class there's like a presentation or
yeah,
something, right? At the
yeah.
end. I think you took a
I did, yeah.
video of one of
And I was like,
yeah, do you still have
I
it?
still
I
have
can't
it.
I don't
I
have
gotta
that
find it. I
video.
wonder if that's. I think that one must be on tape.
And by the way, it sucked
It
though.
was
Like
not. No, no.
honestly,
It
at
was
that
really
time I
good.
was
It was
still
it was
learning.
so good, guys. It was like I remember because we had to sing in different language. We had to sing in Italian, in German.
Yeah, like
I think the
Spanish or
best
something like
one
that.
that I
Yeah.
liked that you did was the one that was in German. I was like, yo, this is sick. Ich liebe dich, I think was what it was called. Um, I don't know how to say it properly.
Do you still have that?
I probably do. I probably do still have it.
I think when you were singing, I was probably filming for you, or maybe your brother, or I don't
Yeah,
know, either or. But I was pretty sure that, I mean, if you have mine, that means you have
yeah, yeah.
yours. So, for those who want to listen to it,
I should put it
you
right
put
now,
in the
guys. TBT,
comments,
guys.
and
Like
just like, if there's
check
enough
out singing.
comments,
Oh
he'll
my
put it
god,
up.
I would never put mine because mine was just so bad. I'm trying actually now. I'm trying to take it
Ah, man, it's
seriously and
good.
just trying to like put
Hey,
myself
you
out.
passed, man. You passed.
I barely passed. But yeah, but dude, we got so good. You got so good, and then you became you were on TV. You ended up in China. You just ended up singing over there. Full-time music artist, singing, songwriting now. By the way, guys, follow him at Hanford Shum. Um, and then here you are. Now you're back in town. You're making songs.
Yep,
And
that's right.
so you are you planning on writing more songs? Like, what's your genre?
Right. So currently my genre is kind of like chill hop slash pop you know music. So I do a lot of acoustic as
Yeah, yeah.
well, acoustic songs. But I like my songs to be chilled. If you're listening on it to Spotify or Apple Music, whatever, you'll see that the songs are pretty chilled, pretty relaxed, kind of like Bruno Major or Phineas. Is it Phineas?
I don't
Phineas, I
know.
think.
Is he an
You
artist?
know Billy,
I'm so out of the loop.
Billie Eilish, the producer, her
Yeah.
brother. Anyways, so it's kind of like that kind of
Mm.
style. And currently, I'm working on another EP because, normally I'm based in Hong
Yeah.
Kong, but because of Corona and everything, I'm here in Canada, and just kind of stuck here for a while. So I'm going to, continue writing,
Yeah.
and there's a lockdown coming up, so.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have a lockdown in
Yeah.
Toronto. I'm in York region, so there's no lockdown
Oh,
yet.
okay, okay.
So yeah, but there will be. But you know what? I got a lot of time in my hands to continue writing. So
Yeah.
no gigs at the moment.
Now,
Yeah.
and I just want to spin this into the relationship side. When you're writing songs
Yeah.
and thinking about it and talking about it even from an emotional side. Do you ever use it as like, because I know as actors, like, I mean, we try and use our emotional life in our work, and that's probably a reason why, like, even me, like, on you'll see on my Instagram, and as you guys all know, like, my life is pretty out there. It never was before, but I mean, after I went through my breakup, I pretty much put it out there, and I'm pretty much I'm a really private guy, but I decided, I was like, no, 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 this is just too much for me to handle. It's got to spill out somewhere, and so I found Instagram and writing as my creative outlet, and then I said, okay, fine. Um, I'm gonna make. Can everybody hear me? Okay, I'm just getting people in the chat are saying that my audio isn't clear.
Can they hear me?
If you guys are in the chat, let me know if you guys can hear Hanford's voice clearly. Otherwise, let me just let me see if it's all right. All right. Let me just 1 second. People are saying there's an audio issue. All right. Test, test, test. You guys can hear me okay? All right. Hang on. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me just test get fix the. All right, guys, we're back. Hopefully it should be okay now. Yeah,
There we
we're good.
go. There we
So
go.
like so back to what I was saying. So for me, I mean, I like to pour my experiences into my work. So same thing goes to relationships. So like, I remember when I first came
Yeah.
to acting, like, we had to do a lot of like relationship scenes, and and
Yeah.
one of the hard parts about that was, I didn't come from a place of relationship experience, so you couldn't use sense memory, you couldn't use any of these things. Now that obviously I've
Hmm.
been in one, and I've gone as far as marriage and breakup and all that kind of stuff, like, I have something to work with, but before I didn't. Do you have to do that in singing? Do you ever have to, like, when you're singing songs, do you ever have to, what's the word here? Like, kind of use that sense memory kind of a thing to kind of get you to places?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my songs. I mean, when I was much
Yeah.
younger, most of my songs or
Yeah.
all of my songs were about
Mm.
relationships. Now I'm a little bit older, I sing, a little bit more other than relationships and breakups and,
You used to do that a lot in
love.
the beginning?
Um, I did. I mean, funny thing is when when I'm sad, it's easier to write, like really sad
Mm.
songs. But I think, as I get older, I find it harder to write about
Okay,
breakup
okay.
songs. I mean, even if I go
Yeah.
through a breakup, I would try to, I mean, somehow naturally, I would just write like, positive, uplifting songs.
Interesting.
So I don't know if that's like my psyche in
Yeah.
my head where like I'm always like optimistic, like, things are gonna be better or something
Mm.
like that. Um, but uh, sometimes also like I take inspirations from
Okay.
other people, because sometimes I don't feel like maybe writing
Yeah.
about my relationship or it just doesn't come out natural. But let's say if I, have a friend who, just got married or maybe broke up or whatever, or maybe I watched a movie, I would
Mm.
maybe write about that. So all these different experiences and inspirations comes,
Let me
at,
just touch upon
different
that. So
ways,
that's one of the reasons why, let's say for example, like the reasons why I like doing what I'm doing right now as far as the writing goes and like putting my relationship just kind
Mm,
of out to the world is because I was like, this is a phase that I'm going through. It's not gonna be forever. I'm not gonna feel like shit forever. You know what I mean? So I was just like,
right.
it's now's the time I can
Hmm.
do something with it.
Yeah.
Like for example, like Adele, she wrote all these songs based on her breakup. I'm pretty sure she didn't write them then and she wrote them during her good time. She wouldn't have came up with those songs. She wouldn't have sang it the same way. I think it came from being in a place and at a time in her life, and she's like, and she created something. You agree?
Right. Yeah, 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 for sure. I mean, like, her biggest song, the one that propelled her, someone like
Mm.
you. That one, everyone knows it, and it wouldn't have happened if she didn't have a breakup. And so, a lot of singers too, like, Taylor Swift. I was reading online today, one of her albums. I think it's like I forgot what it was. Sorry
Yeah.
for all the Taylor Swift fans. But one of her albums, and you should know this one, I guess, if you're a fan, is like a whole thing is about breakups, and that one
Almost like
became like a
all her
really
songs are
hit,
about breakups. I mean,
album.
if you look at her stuff from like when she was 16 all the way to like now, like you could see like how her romance or her relationships kind of evolved. Like before it was like really sweet, it was really innocent, and then it kind of like it faded
Right.
and it became something else. Miley Cyrus, I guess, like I mean, I feel so sad when I hear about those relationships. It's like she was so innocent, she was so sweet, and then all of a sudden a breakup happens. She kind of goes off the deep end, and she does like the song "Wrecking Ball," and she cuts her hair, she got her tits out, like all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, fuck,
But hey, it's a phase, right? It's a
that's
phase.
rough.
Like, like anything,
Yeah,
like even Justin Bieber. I mean, you would think that he's super old now, but I think he's like what, like 25 or something. Like, because he's been out
yeah,
for so long. But he's been through so many phases since like, as a kid, like, I don't know, 13, 14. I don't know how young
yeah.
he started out, but he's going through a bunch of phases. And now he looks like he's happily married, and that's it. I guess it all
I
had to
hate I
happen,
hate that I hate that idea
before he
that like
gets to
it
that end
all had
point.
to happen to like I was just like, oh, you could have avoided it. Like for example, like Justin Bieber, huge fan, absolutely love him. I thought he was so innocent, so like straight edge, and he was with Selena Gomez at the time. And then all of a sudden, when he had that breakup, he he
Mm,
changed himself. He went more like hip hop rap, got tatted up, and I was just like, fuck, you know?
yeah. You know what, man? I mean, I always think, and it might sound cheesy, but like people really need to get through different relationships to learn how to, um, I guess, cherish and navigate through like, a good relationship. People have to go through a bunch of shit relationships, go through the ups and downs, learn from them. It's like having a job. Like you need a bunch of part-time jobs before you get, a good full-time duties. You have responsibilities, um, because there's, as a boyfriend, a lover, or whatever, you have to provide. You have responsibilities, not like providing as in, economically, but
Yeah.
like, responsibilities as a boyfriend, right? Or as a lover or a partner.
I
You
like that
have
idea.
to have that,
I like that
you
idea.
know?
Okay, fine. You gotta have those responsibilities, and it's nice to learn those things. But I really like the idea of like, okay, fine, learn all that, learn it on the job, but it's kind of like it's like in Japan. Like once you join a company, the company takes care of you, and you can join one company, work for one company for the rest of your life, and that company will take care of you no matter what. Even if you're not fit, even if you're not good, they will move you into a different position. I like that mindset.
Mm.
It's kind of like, let's say for example, like I was with my ex. She could have been We could have just been together, and like I like the idea of like you work on your issues with her or with together, and like yes, there's all these problems that come up that you didn't learn because you didn't have part-time jobs earlier, but we learn them together. So we get into our arena, which is just for us, and we work on it. Like that's our lab. And then you come back, like you come back home together in like with this new knowledge, this new thing that you guys have learned, and you guys are working on it. And then the next day you guys go
Mm.
back to the lab or the arena or whatever gym you want to call it, metaphorically, and then you guys are working on something. I like that idea. I don't like the idea of like, fuck, you got to go and like date all these other fucking people, and then
Yeah.
and make mistakes, have them cheat on you, or all this bullshit, and then be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, now I have a degree in fucking relationships, and now let me go find the one. I'm like, fuck you. Like I don't want to be your friggin' practice material, you know?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I I think like at the end of the day, it all comes down to different people are in different stages or different paths,
Yeah,
It's really and you know, if you find somebody who um is in the same stage as you are, like truly,
yeah,
then things become easier. But most of the time, like 95% of the time, people are at different
yeah,
stages. Maybe, let's say, maybe this one, one girl is, she's been very conservative throughout her
yeah,
life, and after coming out of her parents' house and she moves out and stuff, maybe she starts
right,
exploring. If she meets another guy who's looking for a long-term relationship, maybe she didn't know how, bottled up she was, and maybe she wanted to like,
yeah,
explore, and maybe she makes a wrong decision or whatever. And it could be for guys too.
right,
But you have to kind of get to a point where, in order to find a happy, relationship in medium, they have to kind of go through the same thing. Like for example, for my relationship right now, I've been dating my girlfriend for about 3 years,
yeah,
and we've both been in great relationships, and we've both been hurt by many
right,
relationships. And I think when we found each
yeah,
other 3 years ago, almost 3 years now. Um, we learned a lot throughout those previous ones. We learned what to do, and we learned what not to do. And personally, for speaking for
yeah,
myself, going through breakups that are like, getting cheated
yeah.
on, I sometimes I analyze it, and sometimes I have a lot of faults with that
So so
too.
so
And after
I'm so sorry.
looking back at it,
You just kind of smoothed
yeah,
over
yeah,
a topic. I was like, no, we got to bring it back to that one. So
right,
you talk about you just getting
yeah,
cheated
bring it
on.
back,
So
yeah,
like, tell me about
yeah.
that. Like, what was that like, and how the fuck did you get through that?
Well, I mean, I've been in many relationships, but I think maybe I got cheated on half the
Half the
time,
time?
Yeah, half, like 50% of all the different
Fuck.
relationships that I mean, I don't have like a million. I think maybe like seven or so, seven and
So
eight
out of seven, eight, let's just use eight as an
relationships.
even number. Four relationships,
Yeah.
they fucking cheated on you.
Well, I'll find maybe three out of the
All right.
seven,
So
I
three
think.
of them,
Yeah.
they
From what I remember right now. I mean, I don't want to go down memory lane because it's gonna be a while.
yeah,
But about three to four relationships I've been cheated
yeah,
on, and personally, I never cheated on any of my
yeah,
girlfriends. But after every relationship that I've been cheated on, I always kind of sit and think
yeah,
about it. And yes, in the beginning, you get pissed off at
yeah.
them, right, for doing what they
Mm-hmm.
did. But personally, myself, I think about not what they did, but what did I do to lead them to that? Because I always think it's never, and in every single case of every relationship, it's never 100% anyone's fault. There's always it's kind of like the question of like, is it the chicken first or the egg
Mm,
first? You know what I'm saying? And maybe sometimes I've done things that I don't know, and it's not it hasn't been apparent that led to somebody cheat on me, which is kind of stupid. But like if you think about it in a deep sense, sometimes things happen like that. And do I put 100% blame on that person? I don't, but at the same time, I'm not gonna give them a free
Y-
pass. But you kind of have to sometimes look into yourself and be like, hey, what did I do wrong? And personally, I've done something wrong, and um, I think now the relationship I'm in, I learn from those things, and I think it's working for me so far.
I
So
know, I agree with a few things that you said. I admit, yes, there's two people tangoing, so there is that there are two people in it. But I'm not gonna. It's not. But you're absolutely right. It's not a fucking free pass to be like, oh, so
what's
like
not?
here's the thing. Like I was talking with the Rage sisters yesterday, and we're amazing people who are just like completely open, and they talked about the relationships and stuff like that. And I said this exact same thing that you
Yeah,
said. I said, like I look back at my relationship, and maybe it was my fault she cheated. Like I look at him like fuck, maybe like I was probably too much of a fucking baby, and that's why she fucking went and cheated, and and they were and one of them said, no, like you're like it makes sense. Like usually like the person in your position is always gonna feel like the victim, like the victim is always the one that feels like it was their fault, and
yeah,
that's what I was going through. I was just like fuck, like she cheated on me, maybe it was my fault. And she said, no, you're the victim's usually the one that blames himself. And because I look back and think like, could I have done something fucking different? Like, could I have like, I could have saved it if I knew where it was fucking going. And like, I get it, but I mean, I'm not gonna fucking discount the fact that hey, you're a fucking grown ass adult.
oh
You
yeah,
know
for
what
sure
you
not.
were fucking doing,
Yeah,
right? Like, by all
for
means, and
sure.
this is to anybody who's
Yeah,
even considering cheating, like fuck, if you're gonna go and cheat, like have the fucking guts
don't do it, man.
like have the fucking guts to go and tell the person that hey, you're not feeling the relationship and you want to take a break from it. At least that's fucking better to be like, you know what, whatever the relationship is, like I need to, whether you want to go and fucking explore or fucking like just fuck around or whatever it is, at least have the fucking decency to tell the other person, be like, I'm not feeling this, not to like fucking have them get like springing on them, so they're just like they just find out like, oh shit, you went and cheated, so I guess you wanted to fuck around and you want to add insult to injury, so you wanted to hurt me like double on top of that, because you clearly could have
Mm,
told me, but you didn't,
yeah,
you know. And
yeah. I mean, it's yeah, like and personally, I always believe that, if you make a mistake and people cheat, um, you know, it like things will go back to like will go back to them. Like karma, I always believe will come back. But also I believe that it'll be a learning lesson. Like I never ill wished any of the people who cheated
right,
on me. They did it for their
right,
reasons, and obviously you don't agree to it. But for me, I think of it as, you know what, I learned something from it, and that's what I can
right,
control, right? Like I can't control what they do. What I can control is what my mindset is on dealing with the situation. And personally, for me, I think, you know what? I got cheated on. I'm pissed off, but this is what I think that, after reflecting, I've done wrong or I didn't do
right,
as well, and I will do it different. I will do it differently. And also, even picking somebody who is not in the same
right,
stage as me is technically something that I could have done better. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you kind of vetted your significant other and kind of you know decided spending more time deciding and learning from it, it'll be much better than kind of jumping like really really quickly, because I had girlfriends where I dated for a very short time and I fell way ahead of in love, and I just came
so wait,
crashing
explain
down.
that. So you jumped into the
Now,
relation, this is after you got cheated on?
well, yeah. I mean, I have some relationships where I kind of rebounded, I guess, and I didn't. It wasn't like I decided to rebound. It's just kind of like the need to want to be with somebody after you're breaking up, and you're like, oh, I think I found someone great, and then you just kind of fall
Right,
in love,
so you fell even
and
harder,
it
so you
turns
went
out
you
that
went
she
even
wasn't.
faster, like trying to go even faster, even deeper real
Yeah,
quick. And then what happened?
exactly.
Like they
Yeah,
wanted
and
out?
well, yeah, they wanted out, but I guess they couldn't tell me, so they
Fuck.
cheated, right? Like it just is what happened. But sometimes it doesn't end that way because sometimes it's just be like, oh, like I wanted a relationship, they won't want a relationship, or
Yeah,
vice versa, whichever. But for me now, I learned that what, I'm gonna take
yeah,
my time. I'm gonna take my time, get to
yeah.
know somebody, right? And then kind of like you know be with them. Like that's what I learned now instead of
Jump
jumping
to, and jump and
head
sometimes just
first. And
jumping
now,
the gun and being like, all right, fine, next relations, rebound and things like that.
exactly. And now, I'm in a great relationship with my girlfriend, and we take it, we took it slow, and now we're pretty solid, I think. So I think, again, all those difficulties in the past, it all had to
I
happen.
mean,
It really
I mean,
really
I,
does.
I guess all
You
this
know?
all these difficulties in the past, sure. In retrospect, the way I see it is it's like this: no matter how you look at it in life, you're always going to look back and be like, oh, I guess that all had to happen for me to be here, which is essentially true. Like, I don't care, I mean, what
It does.
dimension you're
Really.
in. If you
It's
if you be-
cheesy,
if you
but
believe in multiple dimensions, either way, each dimension is going to have a different end result. But no matter how you look at it, you're going to be like, oh, all that had to happen for me to be where I am. So to me, that's already like a given. I'm not even going to think about that. The idea is like, what was the potential that I could have done? Where was my hidden potential missed? Right? Like that's the whole premise of like Hero Happens. It's like let me bring out what's my hidden potential to and maximize that. So like what did I miss? Like okay, fine, I went through this relationship. We broke up. She cheated. All that stuff. But what can I learn from it? How can I make myself better? Not only that, like I mean, I
hmm,
look back at this relationship and been like, how could I fucking have saved this? And I look back at it and I was just like, everything is almost like it's like a repeat of like lessons I already knew. Like I was just like I fucking told her like if we had communication and honesty, like all this bullshit could have been avoided. But okay, she couldn't. She didn't want to tangle with that. She didn't want to fucking do that. Okay, fine. But it's just like it's just like there's no fucking new lesson here. Like I mean, there's a few small like things which I guess fine. That's something to take away. But like overall, it always comes down to fucking communication and honesty. And I
yeah.
guess maybe then the lesson here is I've come to learn that maybe it's easy for guys like you and me, but it's not easy for all guys or it's not easy for all girls. Because here's the thing, like I had the
No.
Rage Sisters on yesterday, um and Danielle was talking about like she was like about her history, and she was so completely open. And like so, shout out to Danielle, and for all the Rage Sisters, by the way. She was just so completely open and honest and about how like she was in her relationship and she got fucking cheated on, and she was so loyal. And I was just like, man, there's so many girls out there that are so like they're so loyal, and they're like ride or die kind of people, and I'm like that. So it's like it fucking sucks that like people get mismatched. You know what I mean? Like like a,
Yeah. It's stage. Like I think again, you got to find. I mean, the hard part is you have to go through different ones to find the right one, right? It's like it's never like one throw of a dart you're gonna hit. Like you have to like literally throw a million darts before like a couple of them
I
stick,
see what you mean.
and it's a numbers game kind of. Like I think I always believe there's always someone for everyone. So if you've been, for all those who are listening, if you're single for
Yeah.
a while, like you're gonna find
Right.
somebody, and don't rush to the first person you're gonna get. Like, like literally meet people. You gotta, meet people, go out there and like go through
Mm.
the numbers because you're not gonna hit the target in the first shot. And in the first relationship, you're gonna have to go through different relationships, and it could be in different phases. Like some relationships don't like I get to know you, date for a
Hey,
while,
pause
and
for a
then that
second.
doesn't
Pause
work
for a
out.
second.
Okay,
Wind back that
yeah.
thought. Just go back. We kind of lost you there for a minute. Just wind back that thought you were saying.
I don't know where did I leave
So so
off?
so
I
so so,
kind of
so
went
you
on a
you you were saying you talked about like okay you need to basically go through a few relationships to kind of get to know them. Is that what it was?
yeah, yeah, basically. So I mean, you have to go through a different relationships to vet whether or not that person is right for you. You know what I'm saying? Like not at the same time, but I mean, even if at the same time you can go on a date, but not like actual, something serious. You can go on dates with different people. See, the thing is, you learn what you like,
Yeah.
and also you learn what you don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that is very important. You go through different people, you learn what you like and learn what you don't like.
So
So
would you check
then,
out? Would you check out if let's say you got into a relationship and you're like, I like this one thing about them, but 10 other things I fucking hate, but I'm here, so I
right.
guess I'll try and make it work. Or would you be like, fuck it, you know what, I'm gonna call it quits?
No, for sure. I mean, it's all about to me, it's red flags, right?
Okay.
It's red flags. So
Yeah.
if there's things that are red flags, and everyone has their own different red flags, right? But I think there's the common ones that are like, whether they're sneaky or manipulative or,
Yeah.
narcissist, whatever. Like those ones like are like global, right?
Yeah.
Through all different kinds of relationships. But
Yeah.
it's like my girlfriend, let's say for example, she hates the way I I chew my food. Sometimes I can, like when I get a nice bag of
Yeah.
chips, I like to hear that crunch. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I open that bag and, and just crunch it.
Yeah.
And she hates it,
Yeah.
right? But she's not gonna break up with me because of that, because that's not like a deal breaker. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are some deal breakers that are out there, and like cheating and all that.
Yeah.
So it all depends, and that's what you learn. Like if some people, let's say if I meet a girl who actually has that as a deal breaker, like, oh, I can't eat with the person,
Yeah.
I can't be with the person who like crunches their chips,
Or like
right?
chews with their
And that's a
mouth
deal
open
breaker
or
for
some
them.
shit like that.
Yeah, stuff like that, or like, whatever it is. Then yeah, then that's good, because now you found out that that is your deal breaker. But how do you find that out? That's because you go and you explore, you find out what you like, what you don't like, right?
Right.
And that's important.
Here's the tricky part. Let's say you go, you meet the girl, and this is what happened with me. I was with the girl, and like to me, she was like a unicorn. She was like the girl of my dreams. She was, she was so into me. She was super possessive. All these type of things, right?
Yeah.
And then when the cheating phase started to happen, like that's when her entire behavior completely changed. Even when I went back to go and save the relationship, it was like I was meeting a completely different person. The way that she talked, her attitude, her demeanor, like everything was fucking different. Like, and I was just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like what happened to her? Like who fucking ate my wife, and who's this fucking monster? and
Yeah.
and that's what was astonishing. I'm like, fuck. So really, the way I see it is like you can be in a relationship with someone for fucking 3 years, and then something like, I mean, then again, if this was a long distance relationship, so shit probably went down that I wasn't aware of, um,
Yeah.
which I think is also stupid. Like if you're in a long distance relationship, I think that sucks. I don't think it gave me an understanding that I don't think human beings are made to do long distance relationships in general.
Mm.
But anyways, so like when that happened, I was like, fuck, she's not the same, and there's no fucking going back, And so that just goes to prove to me that from a psychological standpoint, like people fucking change. There's
They
changes
do.
happen. I mean, their inner natures are probably still gonna be there, so I'm pretty sure if I like dived in and I got to see who she really was, a lot of it's still there, and a lot of it's just this is probably just anger, frustration on ego and bullshit like that. But that a lot of people don't clear that in their lives, and so they fucking change. It's kind of like when someone's really soft when they get into a relationship. When they come out, they're like, I need to get tough, and they fucking toughen up, and they got that bitch face all of a sudden.
Yeah. I mean, this is one thing that actually I do worry about, like in terms of like marriage too.
Yeah,
Like, let's say, people, like, let's say, a couple gets married,
yeah,
right? Even though they get married at let's say whatever age, like 30, let's say,
yeah,
I personally worry about people changing throughout their, 40s or 50s or 60s. Because let's be honest, like, you get married at 30, people's personalities and what they want and what they strive for individually changes, even no matter what. And sometimes, like, I'm not saying like, when you're 40 or 50, you have like a midlife crisis, like, I want to like, break this whole family apart or whatever. But, it's like you have like different goals and aspirations and different things you want to do. And personally, I fear like, oh, like what if like I or my partner, decides to, 15 years into the relationship, we're different human beings, or, we strive for different things. We're at different stages of our lives.
yeah.
That is the hard part. And that's why divorce rates are like, like not even like relationship, like divorce rates are like
They're
50%, like
it's flying, and the rates are
you
going up
know,
higher and higher. But that's
so
yeah.
yeah,
But what
it's
what no way I
it's
see it, the way I see it is like the change is gonna happen. Don't be afraid of it. But it's gonna work if you're able to connect to a person on a deeper level. Let's say, for example, here's an example. All right, like if two people are just
yeah.
so fucking loyal to each other, like no matter what, but they fucking fight the shit out of each other, like they're fucking bickering all these fucking shit, and they have all these problems. But there's one thing that no matter what happens, they're always there for each other, and they're like that's
Mm,
something that they kind of live by, like it's like a ride or die, like take it to the grave kind of thing. Those people are gonna be together, and it doesn't matter how they change. They're gonna be pissed off. It's like, and that's one thing I've learned about myself. Like I went through this relationship. I thought for 100%, for fucking sure, that if a girl cheats on me, like I'm getting the fuck out and I won't fucking care. But when it happened to me, like I was still in it, and I was just like, fucking
Yo,
hell,
man,
I fucking
same
hate
here.
being
I,
here.
I
I
understand.
fucking
Yeah,
hate you, but I'm still fucking here. And
yeah,
and I fucking went like that for fucking like it's agonizing. It's like fucking holding on to like a
yeah,
rod that's fucking burning you, and you're still fucking holding on because you're like this is like life or death, and you're fucking holding on. And that was the worst part about it. And the other person can fucking save you while you're being burned alive, but they don't give a fuck. And you're still like, okay, fuck you for not giving a shit, but I'm still fucking here. And like
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like that's one thing I learned about myself. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I met like a ride or die kind of girl. And when I meet girls
I
like
yeah.
Danielle and like the Rage Sisters, and they're fucking like that, and they're getting fucking their hearts broken from like from assholes out there. I'm like, fuck, like I wish people of the same type could fucking meet.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of relationships that are literally where, you get cheated on, but you still stick around,
Yeah,
and those really suck. They really do.
yeah.
And, you think after the first time I learned my lesson? No, man. Like after the second time, I still went through it, and maybe the third time as well. But,
Shit, man,
again,
that's
like,
fucked up to get be cheated on three
but,
fucking
but,
times.
exactly. But again, like, and it's always about hindsight, right? Like this is like what I've like those relationships were like maybe 7, maybe 8 ago now, but they happen and I learned
Mm,
from them, I learned how not to them. I mean, for me personally, at the end of the
mm,
day, what I learned is that I came into this world
okay,
by myself, kind of, and I'm gonna leave this
right.
world by myself. And after adopting that idea, I don't worry as much about relationships as I
Yeah,
used to.
yeah. And I
Like,
get that. When you adopt that mindset, it does make things easier. I was like so into my ex, and like I believed she was so into me because she would say these words, and like the idea was that okay, fine, like okay, even though these bodies are gonna be dying alone, I was like our souls are gonna be tied together, and like it's just that it's trying to you're trying to elevate that attachment to a new level. And when you do that, it's like the pain whenever it rips is even more. Like it was unnecessary. You don't need to. Everybody can go through life just based accepting the idea that hey, listen, I'm born alone, I'm gonna die alone, and that's just normal. And everybody I meet is just someone along the way. When you adopt that mindset, you already have a sense of detachment, and it's okay. But when you adopt the mindset of like, no, this is my like soulmate, life and death, beyond and in between, like she's the one that's with me, like that's another level of attachment, and that you're preparing yourself for. So when it fucking rips, like it rips even more than
right.
it would normally under normal circumstances.
I get it, man. I mean, for me, I used to be that, life and death kind of guy with my girlfriend. But I mean, when I say, I come alone and I die alone, I don't mean like, oh, I'm happy being by myself. I just mean like, um, I like
Yeah, I can
I
hear you.
can you hear
Yeah,
me? Yeah,
no, I
it's
can
just a
hear you.
little.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, so like what I mean is like I I focus more on myself and making myself perfect, like
Okay.
better to a point where I don't need to
Yes, that dependence is
rely
gone.
on
See what I
someone
mean? Like
else.
there's a sense of
Dependence, yeah.
detachment. Yeah.
However, well, it's like you're not
Yeah.
dependent on them, but you're more
Okay.
wanting to provide and help each other get to a new
Yeah.
level, I think if one person is dependent, one person is not dependent on that person, that's going to be an
Right. Yeah.
issue, and vice versa. But I think if if you get to a point where you're satisfied or not satisfied, where you're happy, content with where you are in life, and being by yourself, and you're happy with yourself and confident about that, and you meet somebody else who's also confident and happy with
Mm,
themselves, you can build something greater without having the codependency on each other. But instead of dependent on each other, you actually want to be with each other. It's like a decision more than depending, It's like I choose to
yeah.
be with you, not like I need
I
to
love.
be with you. I can choose every other
Yeah.
girl outside, but no, I choose you because I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
with you. that is the pinnacle for what I
Yeah.
experience. And I never had that relationship with before. I mean, right now I feel really content with myself, and I really have a great time with her. I love her to death, and I
Yeah.
choose to
Yeah.
be with her, and that I feel makes me feel good because I don't need to depend on her to make
Right.
me
Right.
happy. I can be
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
by myself. She, lets me be happy by myself. Like she gives me my space and
Yeah.
everything, and I'm happy with that. And I choose to be with her. I choose to, I can be away, but I want
Right.
to go back to you.
So
You know what I'm saying?
that goes back to exactly what I
That
talked
is
about.
the
Like
thing.
you found a way to kind of connect at a deeper level. So like, like, so that's always there, and I think that's what matters. When however you worded it and whatever it was, you found some reason to go deeper and be like, yes, I have this connection that's deeper. There's me, and I can do everything that I want, and I accept all the differences, but there's something that keeps me connected to her deeper, and that's why you go back to your saying, like you verbalize it by saying like, no, I choose you. I could choose everybody else, but I choose you. I think that means something. It's kind of like of course there's a big difference between like, okay, like maybe let's say for example, if a person goes into a relationship and be like, oh, nobody wants me, and then all of a sudden, oh, like he wants me, okay, like I
Yeah.
need you because there's nobody else. But there's a
Yeah.
difference to be like I
I've
have
been in that
all these
position
fucking
before.
options, I can pick anyone. That this one's better looking, this one's more richer, this one's more smarter, this one's more this, more that, but fuck them, I'm choosing you. That says something because there's a
Yeah.
connection that's fucking deeper,
Yeah.
and that's what fucking matters,
Yeah.
right? And I think when you come with that
And
mindset, you
and
won't fucking cheat.
yeah. But again, I did not learn these things if I wouldn't have learned these things if I didn't go through the other
Mm,
ones, Like for me, it's about knowing what I want and what I don't want. Like I want to find somebody who would provide me
okay.
space, who would I mean personally before I was also needy when I was much younger. I didn't have the confidence to meet
Yeah.
other chicks. So, maybe the first girl I saw that, vaguely liked me, maybe I'd jump
Okay.
all over that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, for me, it's like you go through all these different things and you learn how you should approach these things. And if I didn't have those previous experiences, whether it's highs or lows, I wouldn't be able to know how that mindset now of like, oh, I know what I want, I know what I don't want, and I know how to approach it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
It's
mean, you
important
got
for
you
me
got to where you
to
need to
go through
get to, and
those.
I
Yeah.
guess like the formula for you was like you had to trial and error and try different people. Whereas for me, I feel like there's two ways of learning things. You can either learn by having the experience yourself, or second, you can learn by observing others. And to me, I like to learn things from observing others because I was just like, fuck, I don't want to go through every different relationship. I don't want to fuck different people. I just wanted to fuck one girl for the rest of my life, and then and so that
Yeah.
became like so that was a thing for me. But yes, in the end, okay, it was unfortunate, it didn't work out or whatever. But in the end, at the same time, it was also a double-edged sword because I'm kind of stuck where like fuck, like I need to move on. I should go date other girls. I should do all these things, but it's a struggle. You know what I mean? And so that's the hard part. Like
Yeah.
right now, like for the first time in my life, I'm like fuck. At my age, I'm like okay, I'm gonna try this fucking online dating shit. Like I'm gonna get myself into the dating scene. Like fuck this, you know?
It's fun, man. It's fun.
I mean, I guess it. I guess it.
But
Yeah, go ahead. You were gonna
yeah.
say. So
No, no,
like,
go ahead,
so
finish.
like,
Yeah,
it's
finish
like,
off what
okay, I
you're
gotta
gonna say.
go and try this dating scene thing, and like, yeah, maybe it's fun for some people, but it's just like, to me, it's fucking grueling. Like, fuck, I didn't want to do this, And because it's not me.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
it is.
from another
But
fucking time zone. I don't know, like some other fucking age or some shit where it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I was like, I'd rather just pick one person and have all the problems with them. I don't care if it's a fucking toxic relationship. I'll fucking fix it. But like there's some things that I don't want to introduce into the relationship, like loyalty. Like loyalty should already fucking be there. Like there's something that she can that both people need to bring to the relationship, and I can bring 95% of it, but 5% at least like they need to bring. And I think I'm doing a fucking a lot by bringing in 95% of it, by saying okay, I'll fix everything else, but
mhm,
the 5% you do bring, I think needs to be honesty, trust, communication. Those three things, you
for
know.
sure. I mean, the way the things like what I'm saying is, like I'm saying in a way where like we can control or what I can control everything, but in a sense, it takes
Yeah,
two to tango. You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? So even if I have all this, like, I understand my mindset, I understand what I want, what I don't want. I find somebody, and if they have a different need to my need, or different, like the puzzle is different, like the size of the puzzle is different, it's not gonna
Oh, I see what you
work,
mean.
right? So like I can have as many great, ideas, and I know what I want and everything, but if it just doesn't work, it doesn't work. And for me, it's like, even if you try the
Mm,
dating site, right? And I've played, I
yeah.
dabbled with those. It's the same thing. It's just makes it easier to
Yeah.
meet somebody. But once you meet that person, like, you still have to have like the perfect
The
puzzle
puzzle pieces
match,
gotta
right?
fit, and that's
And
exactly what
again,
I the term I use is like
yeah,
being on the same page. Whereas I guess you call it like puzzle pieces matching. Yeah.
yeah. And it's again, like, for me, it's a numbers game. Like, where have you ever tried opening a box of puzzles and knowing exactly where the fucking puzzle is
True.
gonna match right up once you open the box?
Yeah.
You're not gonna know. You have to take one piece, you
Yeah.
gotta try it on, you gotta look around, and actually, this is a great analogy. You gotta look around, but like, oh, this is like a blue part, this is like a red part, it's not gonna match. Oh, I want to look for another blue part, and you try the blue part, and like, oh, actually, it doesn't match. But then look for another blue part and match. Like, you have to
Yeah.
try it out. And it works the same with relationships. Like, you can be lucky. Like, you can strike out and be like, whoa, I dated my high school girlfriend, and I married her, and like 40 years later,
Yeah.
I'm still with her. That's great, like,
Yeah.
you're the lucky one. The majority of people, like 99% of the people out there, they, like, let's not
Yeah.
talk about cheating, right? Let's just, like, it's just regular
Yeah.
breakups. It happens all
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
time because people are
Yeah.
in different stages or different
Yeah. Yeah.
needs, right? And you just have to, take your at bats, and you just got to hit the ball and try and swing. Like, there's no other way to go
No,
about it.
I think I absolutely agree. That makes sense. That you gotta try, and that's, and to me, the trying aspect comes from the fact that, like, it's like I will talk to a girl, get to know her, kind of understand her and things like
Yeah.
that. But I won't let it get to the dating phase. Like, I'll, like, let me just understand who you are, how you think, and then be like, okay, fine. Are you a puzzle piece I'm willing to try? And that's where some people will be like, you know what? I'm already meeting you, so let's just try this puzzle piece. Let's see if we fit. And I think that's what it is. But I mean, fuck it. Now I'm at that age, and that's I don't know what it is. Maybe it's
Hey, man, it's never too old to
yeah.
fall in
I
love.
agree. I
All
agree.
right, never too old.
But yeah, and I'm
So
I'm
have fun with
also
it.
sorry. I didn't. Wait, what did you say? Have
Have
fun
fun
with it.
with it. Like, enjoy the process. Like, not like have fun as in like go fuck around, or I mean, if that
Mm,
floats your boat, but like have fun with it as in like, you know, ex enjoy the opportunity to explore and find out things. And when you explore other people, you learn more about yourself as well. You know, like, I personally really enjoyed my single phase because I get to learn about
mm,
other people, and then in turn, I learn what I don't, or what I do like about, like,
right.
people. It's like a you have to go through that phase. Can be like, oh, I've dated this girl, and Ashley or whatever,
Yeah.
just random name, and I like her, but like, I don't like about like this about her, and that's the deal breaker. Actually, even though she's a nice girl, I'm not gonna see her anymore. But now I know that I don't like this
Oh wow.
particular thing, and you just keep doing that, and then once you get to
Mm,
the end, wherever that is, whether it's like 2 dates in or 3 dates in, you find out, actually, like, I know what I do like, what I don't like, and this person that I'm sitting across from, she's actually pretty decent. Like, she fits most of the boxes. Like, even though she is not this, but she's actually
right. Right.
this. Like, and then you kind of go from there, you know?
What are you gonna do
Yeah.
if she fits all these certain boxes, not the other ones? But then as time goes on, more of those checked boxes become unchecked. Are you gonna be like, oh, it's time for divorce?
I mean, first of all, I've been dating my
Yeah.
girlfriend for 3 years,
Yeah.
or almost 3 years. Um, and I'm still learning
Yeah.
about her, and she's still learning about me
Yeah. Yeah.
all the time, you know? And I mean, like, we've talked about this actually, a
Mm,
couple months ago. The way we were when we first started out, and the way we are now, is very,
mm,
very different. Our the ways, like, I mean, when you first meet somebody, you're always gonna show
yeah.
your best side. That's a given for, well, hopefully
Right.
for most people. So everything's gonna be, you're gonna have the honeymoon phase. You're gonna love that person. You're gonna, accept their weaknesses and whatnot. But, you know, you have to date somebody for a while to really get into the nitty-gritty of how
Yeah.
they are, right? And personally, and this is just what I think, I always want to live with my girlfriends before I ever even think about anything else after
Mm-hmm.
that, you know? Because when you live with somebody, you really get to know their day-to-day morning, night rituals, whatever, how they are, how they handle themselves in times of distress, and you get to
Right.
see everything, right? And they also get to see you as well, right? It's again, it's a mutual, scanning of
Right. Yeah.
each other. So they can find out like, oh wow, like Hanford snores like a idiot. I can't
Right.
take that, or like like he pisses all over the toilet or whatever like that, and that can be a deal
Yeah.
breaker. But I think you have to go through that whole phase of what you date somebody for a
Yeah.
duration of time past the honeymoon phase, and then also go into, if you can, if things go well, go into the live together phase, and then continue to learn before even thinking about moving on to like something that's, hopefully
Yeah.
forever, right? I mean, if you believe in marriage, and hopefully forever. But that's the thing, like you have to vet this person for a duration of time before you go on for
Exactly.
forever. You know
And
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that was probably one of the
It's
big mistakes I did. Like, I mean, obviously I made a lot of mistakes in this relationship, and I get it. A lot of them were mine because I saw red flags and I dismissed them. And I was just like, I brought it to her attention, and instead of being on my
mm,
side, she just covered them up more. You know what I mean? Like it's
right.
and not only that, I mean, um, one thing I've also learned is that like I don't give as much fucks anymore in the sense that like because I come from a place culturally where it's like it's fucking taboo to like live with your girlfriend. It's fucking taboo to even have a fucking girlfriend. It's all this,
Hey man, same with Chinese
you know what I mean? Like
Chinese,
it's the
thing,
same shit.
same thing,
Hey,
man.
what's going on, chat? So like that's the mindset we come from. So the idea was whenever I was with my ex-wife, like when I was with her, to me the mindset was like, okay, she's the one. I told her how important honesty is to me, how important communication is. She said she's already on board on that. I'm believing her. I'm gonna, and it's like when you get into that mindset, like yo, she's a fucking unicorn, she's a princess, all these things. Regardless of the red flags, you'll be like, you know what, fuck it. Like I'm not gonna doubt her. You know, it's like
Honeymoon
I'm not gonna
phase.
doubt her. I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna be like doubt her, do my tests, do my checks, and be like, see, people, you're a fucking asshole. It checks out, you know, and you are the asshole that wanted to check. So I was like, okay, fine, fuck it. I'm gonna keep going. And what I realized from this entire fucking experience is like don't give a fuck. Like I don't care if anybody tells me like her family's telling me, oh, you can't have sex unless you guys get married. You need to get married as soon as possible. You guys can't be roaming around in events or staying together in the same room if you guys are um if you guys aren't married and all this kind of stuff. And then my mindset was okay, like she's the girl I want to be with, so like fuck, it's just a piece of paper to me. I don't give a fuck. Like in my mind, I'm already married to her. So like fuck, you want to get married tomorrow? Like that's good. It's all good with me. And because no matter what happened, and let me tell you, the red flags, boxes being unchecked, like believe me, it was fucking like the list was fucking long. There was a lot of fucking reasons I could have left
Yeah.
very early on, but I didn't because for that one reason, she used to tell me she was gonna be like a nun in our culture. In our culture, they call it brahmacharya, and so she was like she's gonna dedicate herself
Mm.
to like God, and she's like if it's not you, it's nobody. And so to me, that's like a ride or die kind of girl. And I was like, am I gonna say no to a girl that's like says it's you or nobody else in life? Like I'm like fuck all the other problems that there are. Fuck all the boxes that are unchecked and all the other issues. Like fuck it, I'll deal with everything. But the fact that there's this emotional connection that she says is real, I'm gonna fucking go for it. And the worst part about it was
Yeah.
when we came to when the cheating came, I was like, fuck. The one thing that you said was fucking real was fucking a lie. And that's what probably burned the most. Because I could have fucking checked out earlier.
That's the thing, man. You gotta get through. You gotta go past the honeymoon
Yeah.
phase and then see in the
Yeah.
open picture before even jumping ahead on anything. And maybe that's a
That's
life
probably it. That
lesson,
probably is. You're
like
probably
I've
right.
I certainly learned that. I mean I personally went through that lesson. Like I jumped through, like I never got
Yeah.
married, but like in terms of like emotional boxes I have. It's like this box is like, dating phase, like get to know you. This box is like considering like serious, and then this box is serious. Now I actually have like different boxes I have to
Hmm.
go through each one before I get to like serious. And then even serious, you have to go through another like a million boxes that I don't even know of because I never
Yeah.
even went to them before
Oh,
even
I see, I
marriage.
see, I
You know what I'm
see.
saying?
So,
Like to me, like I don't want to get married and divorce after like 4 or 5 years,
dude, I went
whatever.
fucking
Like
was I was
if
married
I'm
for
gonna
fucking
if
2 months. Like, what the fuck is that? That's like fucking out of a movie or some shit. Like, it's fucking some celebrity Las
that is
Vegas
a
bullshit.
movie.
Like, it's like, what the fuck? And I didn't even get to live with the fucking
Uh,
girl. Like I got married. We were together for like about a month, and she's like, I'm gonna go back home, pack my things, I'll be back. Like, and she never fucking came back.
yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah,
So for me, it's like if I'm gonna get married for a long time, I'm gonna do my due diligence and do my
yeah,
homework. Anything else is shame on me, like it's like, even if you go on if you look for a job at a
right.
Japanese company, right? You still want to see if that Japanese company has a
Yeah,
good track
exactly.
record, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like you
it's gotta
still
be
want to be like,
trustworthy.
like but the thing is, the only way to actually see it have a good track record is you
Yeah.
join a company and you actually go with the company for like 2, 3 years. You can read all the reviews on Indeed or Monster.com and see people like, oh, I love
Yeah,
working in Honda. But you actually have
yeah,
to be in Honda,
yeah,
experience the culture, not just for like the 6 months
yeah,
of probation. You got to be there for 2, 3, 4 years. But like actually, these Honda, managers that treat me really well and they're like
yeah,
taking care of me. Then you'd be like, okay, actually, I believe in Honda. I'm gonna stick with Honda because they
yeah,
treat
yeah.
me
That
well.
makes
You know what I'm
sense.
saying? You don't go into a company and be like, you know what, I want to work for a Japanese company, Honda, and then you're like, I'm done. I'm stuck at Honda. I'm gonna work in Honda
Yeah,
forever. And then like, and then your managers abuse you and shit like that,
yeah.
and you still stay. You're not gonna do that,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
Do your
You
due
got you
diligence,
got you got you
take
got
your
you got to
time,
scope it out and
be
things
with
like
the
that.
person you're
But but
with.
when it comes to a relationship, like things can be talked about. Like when there's fucking issues and things aren't going, like this is I don't know. I'm still a firm believer in this. I believe any relationship can fucking work. Like any fucking one. Like go to all your fucking bad, worst fucking relationships. I believe that if you wanted that one to work, you can fucking make it work. It's probably gonna be a lot more fucking work,
No,
but you can.
I don't believe it.
You're not on board on that one.
No, man. No.
Yeah,
Because again, it
yeah,
takes two to tango, right?
yeah,
To
yeah,
tango. Okay. So even if you want to dance the
yeah,
best you want to dance, if that person can't
yeah,
dance for tango, they're like, they can't dance. They can't dance. You can't, it's not like, a
mm,
single sport.
yeah,
It's not like tennis, right? If you're playing tennis, you're on the court by yourself and you against the
yeah, yeah,
opponent, right? You have
right,
control of everything. But when you're in love,
mm,
when you're with somebody, you don't have control of everything because there's another player, there's another partner, not even
right,
player, it's a partner. It's not your
yeah,
opponent, it's your partner. If your partner is not in the same beat as you, not in the same position, it doesn't matter how good of a tennis player
you're
you
absolutely
are.
right.
So like even if you think, oh, like I'm gonna do my best, I'm gonna, learn from it, previously, it's not a guarantee whatsoever that you're gonna be okay with this partner because you don't even know if that person is gonna, handle the same things as you will, or the outlook on things. You have to go through the match or the dance to actually see, okay, I'm dancing with this person. She can't do tango for
Yeah.
shit. You gotta stop that dance. You can't just
See, and
continue it.
that's what. Yeah,
And sorry, actually, there's an argument to be made that cutting and
yeah,
stopping this tango early and actually being
yeah,
the one to stop it is the more no is the
yeah.
noble thing to do rather than pushing on.
Everything. Like, just using that analogy, I agree with everything. Don't push on. Stop the dance. I agree with all of that. And at that point, the only way that this is where I kind of I'm where my opinion kind of comes in and is different, and where I believe that it can always work is the point where if whenever you stop that dance and you know, like, okay, fine, it's not working. If at that point, if the other person has the desire to learn from you, so that she can be, you learn to tango with you, then I think there's potential. And to me, that's the idea of being on the same page. There's that inner
Yeah.
desire that makes them like it's like that willpower. Like, listen, I don't fucking know how to do this, but I want you and I want to be with you, so fucking teach me, you know? And I think that's the
Right.
thing. That's why I believe that any relationship can work. But yes, if that element is not there, then yes, you're right. Everything you just said is valid. Stop the dance is not going to work. And it's not going to happen because the person has no desire.
But that element, you have to, again, you have to, like, each tango
Yeah.
dancer is in a
Mm.
different phase, right? To find
Yeah.
that element, you really have to go through different, partners and find out, okay, this person actually has that
Right.
element. Like, even no matter how much you want to make
Yeah.
it work, that person might not be there
Yeah.
yet.
That's true.
And you might have to wait 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You can wait
For this
six
fucker to
years
like catch up.
for
Yeah.
unhappy for maybe that person to maybe want to
Right.
catch up. You don't even know.
Yeah.
There's
You
no
don't know if the desire is
guarantee.
going to be that. You're absolutely right. And that's the thing.
So the point is, it's like you want to find that one critical thing where they'll stick it out no
Mm.
matter what, but they might not be in the right
Right.
stage to do that. So that's why you just gotta go with the numbers and just try it
Yeah.
out. But you gotta take it slow, but you gotta have the balls to, and that's what, love hurts because you put yourself out there. You're like, you know what, this is
Yeah.
my heart, take it. And you have to really know that they might fucking
Yeah.
break it. But that's
That's part
part
of
of
the
the
game. It's
game.
it's
That's like
fucking
you have
sucks when they
high,
intentionally do it. You're like,
it's high risk, high
that's true. You're
reward,
right.
right? You put
Yeah.
yourself out there, you put yourself out there, and they can rip it and tear it to shreds. But if you find that one person who's like, you know what, I'm gonna tango
Yeah.
with you. And even though they might be the best tango player, but fuck man, or tango dancer, but they'll still try it out with you. And that's the best feeling in the world. And that's why you keep doing it as a human being, because we're emotional people. We love
Yeah.
connections, right? And we try. But again, you have to learn from the previous mistakes, and you have to learn from that and move forward differently, right? And that's what
I
I had to
absolutely agree
do,
with that. I
right?
definitely
And
agree in the sense that yes, like yeah, everything's got to check out, and yes, it is high risk, high reward. I love that idea. I think that you're absolutely right about that. And we all want connections, and that's why one of the things I do on my Instagram is like I do these polls, and sometimes the polls really surprise me. Like fuck, like I'll be like I would think in this situation it would be a landslide in one direction, but I find out like no, it's very close to 50-50. Like holy shit, like so many people are like for like the
yeah,
for one side and not the other, or like sometimes I think it'll be 50-50, but it's like a landslide in the other direction, and it just goes to show that like some of these questions I'll even put are like to me are very core beliefs. Like I believe in love, like I only need love and fresh air to live. Where some people are like, no, you need money. And so I know whenever like me being with a girl that is like very money oriented and like that's her drive in life, like
yeah,
that's not gonna work for me. Whereas I'd rather be with someone who's gonna
yeah.
be
So you know what
yeah,
you don't want.
exactly.
You know what you
Exactly,
don't want, right?
exactly. So yeah, I think yeah, it
Yeah.
comes down to that. I think there's a lot of that compatibility. It is what it comes down is being on the same page, but I think it does make things complicated whenever you're in a relationship already, or let's say you're married because you're arranged marriage or some shit, and and then you're
Yeah.
like, okay, fuck, let's make this work. I think even arranged marriages, you weigh in on this, but I think even arranged marriages, they come with the mindset like, okay, I'm gonna have to make this work. Whoever the fuck they are, I don't know who they are. I'm fucking getting married to them. We're just gonna have a family. So the goal is companionship, financial support, stability, and having a family. And like that's whether you love the guy or not or whatever, they're in there. And I just to me that's not an emotional connection. So I'm like, fuck that. But
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you want that, at least you get someone loyal because of their
I,
faith,
I don't know if
right?
it's because of
Like,
the faith. I think they're just gonna be loyal because they're gonna be like, okay, well, I married this person, so they're financially stable, and I get a roof over my head, and I get like financial support and all these type of things. I think that's probably what it's gonna be like. I don't think that emotional connection is gonna be there because there's no drive for it unless they really wanted it
well, I
secretly.
think I mean, personally, what I think for arranged marriages is that, like, I think the only thing that's keeping them together is their
Faith
faith,
in
like
what?
in their
Faith in the
religion.
religion? Oh,
like a
Oh,
religion.
religion? I don't know
Like
about that. I don't even
they
think
they they'll be shy. They'll be frowned upon if they've divorced,
dude,
right? Like no way in hell, no way in hell with two people who don't know each other, actually love each other to a point where they stick it out. Even if like they find a way after many years of like love, like finding like commonalities, the majority, like I think the biggest reason is because of the faith and because of the religion to actually like keep them actually together. And then they have kids, which like the kids are keeping
yeah.
them together, not because of like actual
Yeah.
love. You know what I'm saying?
I think definitely kids will make people like stick it out because they're like, fuck, I don't want to ruin the kids' lives. So that
Yeah, it's
it's so
complicated with
fucking
kids.
complicated with kids. But one thing's for sure is like fuck, I married a girl that was religious, and that's one of the reasons why I went for someone religious because like she has faith in the religion and she believes in fucking being a good person and like and not
Yeah.
cheating and shit like that. And then when it fucking happened, I was like, fuck this. And so like all that religion, all that spiritual bullshit, it went out the fucking window. To the point where she's like, let's not tell anybody. And I'm like, what do you mean let's not fucking tell anybody? Like she wanted to just fucking sweep it under the rug. Like go fuck yourself if you think I'm gonna fucking sweep this under the rug. Like go fuck yourself if you think I'm gonna
Mm.
be silent. And I'm just gonna fucking just accept this and keep my mouth shut. Like fuck you, I'm not doing that. And so like one thing I realized, man, like I don't think faith religion is gonna play a role. I mean, maybe there are girls out there. Maybe if you guys are watching this and you'd be like, no, I'm religious, I would never cheat. Then okay, fine. But I don't. I think if there's something in you that is not gonna that is keeping you from cheating because and you're always loyal. I don't think it comes from religion. Religion might play a role in that, but it's something that's deeper within your being that's keeping you as a loyal person and having that principle and moral.
Yeah, I personally don't think religion, like, I mean, I think a lot of like people now, young, like, younger people, even though they're religious, a lot of them are, maybe pressured by parents to continue on
Fair
to,
enough. Yeah,
practice
yeah.
and whatnot. I mean, I know a lot of like, even personally, I'm Catholic. Well, I was born
Yeah.
Catholic, but like, I didn't choose to be
Right.
Catholic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just kind of raised and,
Yeah.
baptized and whatnot. But like, people are religious but don't practice it, and parents force them to. So after when you get older, you kind of have this kind of thing where you have pressure to continue on. But the older you
That would
get,
suck though. I
though,
gotta say
you
that
don't
that
have you don't
sucks.
necessarily have to
Mm,
follow it. So for me, religion is never like a thing that like, oh, that's check box, like she's religious, she's gonna be
yeah.
faithful. No, even people who are religious, they make mistakes
Everybody makes
too.
mistakes. I
Like
get it.
nobody is like nobody's perfect in a way. Like even if you're religious, you have sins, like you have secular
Exactly.
thoughts, like, and you sometimes go through it, and it's just what it is, right? So like that's never like a checkpoint for me. Like, oh, she's religious, yes,
No,
like
I think
nah.
yeah.
But let me ask you though. Let me ask you though. Like now after this whole thing, happened and you learn from it, like what kind of what kind of things are like what kind of things are you looking for now? Like in terms of the person, like what you don't want,
Fuck.
what you want. Like what kind of
It's
things
like it's like
do you think like what I learned from this? I want to, I think this is what I want, or this is what I'm looking for in my
here's the
next
fucked up
relationship.
part. It's like the same. It's like fuck. It's the same shit all over again. It's like I already knew what I wanted, and I want someone who's honest and that's it, honest. And if you're honest, the communication will come. But honesty is number one. Like all my female friends who know me, they know that about me. Anybody, like even when I met my ex,
Yeah,
like that was the first thing I talked about. I even made it so clear, like if there's anything that you don't want to talk about, like it's fine. Just tell me that you're not ready to talk about it, and we'll get there eventually. But like just don't. Let's not lie, because the thing about lying is that there doesn't matter what the truth is. The betrayal is gonna cut 100 times more than any truth you could ever tell me. So that's the
mm,
thing. So like, there's nothing in your life that you could have ever done that's gonna cut me as deep as the fucking betrayal from me finding out that you fucking lied to me. So and she
yeah,
was on board with that, but she really wasn't, and I never did any tests to check it, and that's probably my fault. So that's probably a lesson. Like I should trust the red flags, trust my instincts. I should have done that, but because I believe she was the one, because it's one thing to grow up, and this is fucked up. Like I grew up with a mindset of like this is how I want the girl I want to meet, and even in my mind of like her face, how she looked like my ex kind of like looks like that, and I was just like, this has got to be the one. Like fuck, like this is the girl from the Vision and shit like that. So I was like, you think I'm gonna test her? Like
Yeah.
I see the
Yeah.
flags, but fuck it, like just override. Like it's like fuck that. Like and that's the thing, you know. So that's probably why. Like I mean, I struggled with getting over it, and like otherwise, yeah, I probably would have been like, okay, you know what, red flags, too many. Like you know what, just keep it peaceful. Let's just end it here. But yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's so like what nothing changed. Like the next person I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna look for honesty. But maybe this time, I'm gonna be like, hey, as much as I want to trust you, sorry, like protocol is I have to test it.
It's never a guarantee, man. Never a
Yeah, it's
guarantee.
never a guarantee, and that's the thing. So like that's the thing. I guess you're always gonna be either way when you get with anybody in a relationship. It's like you said, it's high risk, high reward. You're gonna give them your heart, and that's what it takes. And you're hoping this time they're not gonna fucking put it in a blender, you know? Um,
Yeah. But you know what? Like even though it's painful, like love can be painful. Um, it's a risk that's worth taking. You know, I mean, for those who feel like, oh, no one's interested in me and whatnot, I'm gonna
yeah,
give up. Like, don't give up. Just keep going, keep trying, keep meeting people, keep loving. Because this whole, I mean, it's really fun. You know, like the whole process of finding somebody, meeting people, learning about people, learning
yeah.
about yourself, um, and finding somebody that makes you
Mm-hmm.
better, right? Like find somebody that complements you, and that's the key part is finding someone that
Mm.
complements you. And you need to take a couple stabs at it before you actually get to that one person that actually does complement you. But once you find that, you have different things. You have, she likes something different and I like something different. You kind of mold
Yeah.
it together. It's a process that you have to kind of go through the pains and growing
You know,
pains
I
and
definitely
everything,
agree
you
with the
know?
idea that like, um, uh, you know, a person that you're with, they could bring out the best in you, or they could bring out the worst in you. And so I think I like that idea of like, it's like you use the word compliment, but I think that, when you're with someone, so they can bring out the best of the best qualities in you, or the worst qualities in you. And I think that has something to do with the fact that, you're kind of giving yourself to them emotionally, so they kind of do have access to that command center of who you are, to a certain extent. And yeah, that's the way I see it, right? So yeah,
Yeah, man, for sure,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. I'm just curious right now, how many people are actually, watching at the moment? I mean, I don't know if they have any questions, but like I think it'd be really kind of cool if you have some people. I don't know if like any listeners right now live are, if they have any questions about something.
Mm.
I don't want to talk about. Um,
One just asked if I
you
was
know,
okay.
I think it'd be
I
kind of
think I'm
cool to
okay.
kind of
I think I'm
talk
okay.
about
Thanks
it.
for asking.
Any relationship
Yeah, if you guys have
things
any
or anything
questions,
about
feel
anything
feel
you
free
want
to
to talk about
ask
or ask,
questions.
ask us.
But yeah, oh man. Let me just talk about like what's going on right now. Like fuck, like let me just tell you one thing. Like going through like fucking divorce
Yeah,
is fucking hell. Let me just tell you. I would think that it would
yeah,
be I would think that, let's say it would be simple. Like the person would cooperate and be like, okay, fine, we'll sign the papers, we'll do all whatever's needed, and just keep things peaceful. But fuck, with my fucking ex, like, does not want to even comply with fucking divorce, like, and like, doesn't want to respond to any of the emails or the paperwork or nothing.
you guys have
Huh?
lawyers?
Well, I
You have
mean, I
lawyers?
have to, like, the thing is, I have to get a lawyer to do it here. So like, who the fuck, like I'm trying to gauge like what the fuck is going on. Like she wanted a divorce when she was cheating, and then when she found out that that guy went for some other bitch, she came running back, and and even then she wasn't the same person. She wasn't the same person again. Um, and
Yeah,
I try to make it work, but it's just like too many fucking red flags and all talk, no fucking action. It was just fucking bullshit. And so like finally I walked away and I said, you know what, I'll just contact you about when the divorce stuff happens. But now that I
yeah.
finally am contacting her about like this is a divorce stuff, we need to sort this out for the paperwork, I'm getting no fucking response. Like she doesn't want to fucking respond. If I
This is why you need lawyers. You need lawyers talking to lawyers, so you don't
Yeah, but
actually have to talk
the
to her
hard part is that
directly.
because it's international and she's in another like fucking country, like they
Oh,
don't.
is she
No, no,
is
no,
she in
she's not
India?
fucking. She's not from India. She's from the UK. You know,
Oh, she's
yeah,
British? So I
yeah,
totally
y-
forgot what
yeah.
your ex. She's
No, 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 she's not
Caucasian
Caucasian British.
British?
If she's Indian, she's Indian British. So she's one of the Indians that are living in the UK.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and like it's fucked up. I mean,
I
this is
see.
fucked up to say, but like, let me just tell you, if I was with the Caucasian girl, maybe she would have a lot more independence and just make decisions on her own. But because I'm
How'd you meet
we
her?
met through like a religious event. Like it was on. We were in Greece. It was on a cruise, and it was a religious event.
I think you
Yeah.
told me about
So
this. Yes,
like,
you told
and
me
so
about
that's how I met her. But like, here's the fucked up part because is I mean, comment and let me know what you guys think. But I think the fact that that she's Indian and like it's an Indian relationship because Indian cultures are very like their family's always involved in some sense. Like she listens to everything her fucking family says. And so the fucked up thing was like when we first got together, her family did not want me in the picture. Like she was on the path to God, and so they did not want her to be with me. So like when she told them like no, I'm gonna be with
Yeah.
people, her apparently allegedly I should say, like her father was like, hey look, I got this much money in my bank account. If you go with this guy, you get none of it. Like or her mother would be like, don't go with this guy. You're gonna ruin your life. All that bullshit. And then she still went for me. So to me, it was just like this is a ride or die kind of girl. You know what I mean? And then in the end, I get this, like, bro, before I was about to get married, the day before my wedding, her mother goes to her and tells her are you sure you want to marry him? Like she didn't want her to marry me, and it was just so fucked up. So like when it's a long distance relationship, and obviously with the cheating and all that shit that happened, like there's so many people that are whispering in her ear, and that's one of the hard parts of like being in a long distance relationship, and at the same time for it to be an Indian culture where like where like the families are getting involved and they don't mind their own business and shit like that. So I don't know.
Right. I
So
mean, it. I think the most important lesson to learn from this is maybe take your time. Take your
I
time,
guess
man.
so. I guess so. And
It's
here's the
like
fucked
take your
up part.
time, learn from it, learn from the people, learn what the person, like what their environment is, how their family. Like honestly, if the girl's parents don't want the girl to marry you, that's already a red flag, like right there and then. Like
To me, I was just
that's
like,
a
fuck, I'll save this girl from the fucking tower. Let's go, like and
yeah, but yeah,
like I fucking told the parents like when I first met them, I'm like, if you guys say no, I'm just gonna go and run away with her. And I guess they just went silent. They didn't say anything. But I guess who knows? Maybe they were plotting. I don't know. But like, dude, like when I went through the entire relationship, I treated them like family. Like I treated her
yeah,
sister like family, like her parents like family. Like there were times where I even put my ex-wife aside and said, her needs aside. And I was like, let me go take care of your family. Let me go take care of your sister, so that if your family feels loved. And in the end, what they fucking like, I
mm,
got fucking backstabbed by them. Like the whole cheating process. Like I mean, fucking, it's a big fucking story. But in the end, the way I see it is just like shit. Like there was a lot of people fucking involved, a lot of, and like when I tried to deal with this whole divorce thing, and I said, can I talk to her? And they're like, don't talk to her, talk to me. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like you're not the fucking involved.
yeah,
Like I need to deal with it. Let me talk to her. And they're like, nope, can't do. Like I'm like, all right. So then like, and now I gotta fucking deal with the paperwork, and they don't even want to deal with it. Like it's like I was like, shit. Like it's fucked up. So let me just say, like,
yeah, man.
getting with like getting married,
Sorry to
man,
hear,
it
man.
gets fucked up. Let me just say. And I never knew, they
It,
never
I
thought it
mean,
would get
it's
fucked up to this
complicated. Yeah,
level, and especially whenever they come from a religion and a spirituality where it's kind of like, let's not build karma, let's not, let's always have peace, let's resolve things peaceful. I'm like, where's the fucking resolution and peace now? Like, what's this is all fucking talk. It's kind of bullshit to me.
yeah, it's tough. Marriage is important, to take serious of. So, for those who are listening, take your time, do your due diligence, be with that person, and just take it slow, I think is the most important, no matter what the age is. I mean, obviously
Mm.
there are things, I mean, I just had a friend who who dated somebody for 6 months and then got married and now have a kid,
I know
but
so many people
like,
that they were in a relationship for fucking 5 years. They broke up. Fucking 6 months later, fucking married. And I'm like, shit, you rebounded
yeah.
and got married, and now you got 2 kids.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's different for everyone, but I think for most people, it's I think it takes time. It takes time to find somebody that's right. It takes time to find to know what you want as a person, as a human being. That's really important, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, I guess sure. I guess it takes more time and put all your due diligence in and all that stuff. But in the end, like let's be quite honest, man. You'll never fucking know. It'll never be 100%. Because any second.
You know, man. After like the first date, I know. I sit with somebody for a dinner.
Yeah.
I know this person whether I want to take for a second date already.
Ah,
And then you go for a second date, you go for a third date. Actually, this person actually not too bad. Fourth date, not too bad. And then after that, you start dating. Exclusive, you start dating, and like if there's any red flags, it's very apparent,
fair enough. Fair
very
enough. I
very
gotta say,
apparent.
I guess that's where I guess maybe luck wasn't on my side because it was a fucking long distance relationship. And so we couldn't have all those dates. All we did was fucking like a lot of it was fucking like Skype dates. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just what I've realized from this.
I know what you mean.
Let me tell you, man. Like
Yeah.
Skype dates, man, or online, just fucking meeting virtually. Like you do not get to know. You do not get to know the person. Like, uh, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably one for sure. That's why I think after doing all this, I was just like, fuck long distance. Like, I sorry, but fuck this.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
currently, me and my girlfriend, like my girlfriend is based now in Hong
Right.
Kong, and we are doing a long distance, but
But you guys
we
know
had
each other. You
many,
guys
a
met
couple
each
of
other in
years
person.
under
You
our
guys you guys
belts.
dated in together. Like now it's just like long distance is
Yeah,
because
but hey, but you never know. That's
yeah,
the thing. You never know. Once people are divided, it's free game. Not really free
yeah,
game, but like it can be free game for somebody to do something you don't
right.
know,
Yeah, that's
right?
where the faith comes in and like
So
trust comes
again,
in.
you just kind of high risk, high reward. Like, this is what happens, and I'm in Canada, you're in Hong Kong, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of hope that nothing happens. And I know that nothing's gonna happen on her end, and hope that she believes that nothing will happen on my end. It's just a blind faith for both
Uh,
of us,
d-
but that's how
That's I
how
mean
it is.
that's what it was for me too. Like I was in the relationship for a solid 2 years. It was all long distance. We got to see each other once in a while, but there was always complete faith. You know what I mean? It's kind of like there's the trust is there. It's kind of like even with friends, whenever you meet them like once every little while, but when you guys do meet, it's like you guys are like time hasn't passed, and you guys what I mean, you guys haven't gotten distant, and you guys are just like you guys are back to, you guys are close still, even though it's been months. It's kind of nice having those kind of connections.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think long distance is very tricky. I think I wish I had been a little bit more educated on it. But I don't think I'm gonna be crazy like in the past and do another long distance deal like this. Like that's for sure. Or like give myself so easily.
Smart.
But it cost me in the end because look at me.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you've known me for so many years. Like I wasn't a person that swore. Like look at me now. I fucking swear almost every fucking sentence. So like it's changed me. Like I've changed quite a bit from this experience, and I think that comes from the fact like
That's good.
whenever you break and you just and you break so fucking hard. Where it pretty much destroys you, and you'd be like, "Whoa, I'm still alive!" Like, fuck, okay, I guess I'm back from the dead. You've changed, and I think, I mean, I like to believe that if somebody ever puts their trust in me, I wouldn't let them go through that, regardless, even if it's gonna end in a breakup or something like that.
Yeah. But hey, again, like we're in a we it's about, at the end of the day, we are with ourselves the most, and we learn, we have to take lessons from everything, right? And we have to learn from
Yeah,
these, and even though it changes you, um you have to find a way to learn from it and make you actually a little bit better, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And the thing is, like right now, the first, you lie to me the first time, shame on you. The second time, shame on
that's
me,
true.
you know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying?
That's true.
So 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 right now you had the first strike, it's on that
Yeah,
person. But other than that, now you have no more. That's for, you can't blame nobody else but
exactly,
yourself.
exactly. It's all me.
And you have to just kind of move on and learn from it. and I've just been repeating the whole time. Learn about what you want, what you don't want. We'll learn what you're looking for in a partner, and just go with it. But you have to take these things in stride and learn from it, because you'll never know if you don't swing the bat. Don't be scared
Yeah.
of swinging the
I mean,
bat,
I
or
guess I
being
can't
afraid of
anymore. I
being
mean, I do kind of feel like a good boy gone bad. I don't know if this is just a phase, but like that's probably why like this whole like me swearing so much, not get,
good boys never
huh?
win. So good boys never win.
So I guess it's time for the bad boy to win. Um, but it
Yeah, but not like a dick, but like yeah, good boys never, like 100% pure boys
yeah,
don't win. They
maybe
never.
that's why I lost. I thought I was gonna win. I thought it was at the home stretch. We just got married, and I was like, all right, we're here. But hey, life took a turn. Um, what was I gonna say? I was shoot. I had a thought I want to talk about. Oh, so speaking of which, now the idea is like so, I don't know. I'm hearing things from different people. You tell me what you think. Um, so my ex isn't responding in terms of signing divorce papers or any of that. Is that a sign that she's just trying to make things a lot more difficult and to make it more costly for me, or is it that she's not over me and she's hoping that maybe this can be repaired?
I mean, honestly, definitely not the second situation.
Mm.
Okay, not the second
Oh,
situation. Like, if she wants to repair things, she would have repaired things
right.
already. But it's only it could be a couple of things. It could be she's
Mm.
overwhelmed with all the paperwork. It's overwhelming,
Mm.
you know. Um, maybe shame or embarrassment, or maybe she wants to be a dick and like not be cooperative with
Mm.
you. Whichever it is, though, is definitely not the
It's
second.
definitely not the second one.
Definitely
She's
not.
not looking to repair this, and she's not trying to make this. Uh,
No. And let's just say, and let's say if she actually wanted to repair it, repair
right.
it, um, this passive aggressive way of
Yeah.
repairing it is a no-go.
Right.
So even if she wants to repair it, fucking say no.
Right. Because this isn't the way. This isn't the way to repair it. This isn't like.
Because if she's gonna be passive aggressive for something so big and so
Yeah.
important, think about all the minute things that happen daily where you're going to talk to that person and be like, oh, I want to do this and that, whatever. And then they respond to you in a very passive aggressive way throughout the day for the rest of your
Mm.
life. And again, first mistake, shame on
Mm.
her. Second mistake, shame on you.
That's the thing, and it's just like I remind myself about that all the time. I'm like, fuck, and how many times am I gonna give her a chance? Like, I gave like when it happened the one time, okay, fine, but then I gave her chance after chance after chance, and the lies never ended. The lies kept going, like it was a daily basis, like, and then it became multiple times in the days. Just the lies would never quit. To the point where she'll be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, look, I'm wearing my wedding ring. I'm going to work," and then she takes off the wedding ring and goes to work, like like, and I'm like, and I'll catch it later. I'm like, oh, where is it? Like, you literally made a point to show me that you're wearing the wedding ring going to work, and then you literally took it off. Like, the moment you got, like you got in the car, like what? Like, it was just the lies just never ended. And I'm just like, and I remind myself, like, yeah, shame on me for, not for falling for it every single time. But I think that's what happens whenever you're in so deep and you marry someone, you're just praying and hoping that the same girl that you married is still exist, but really it's very hard to accept the fact that reality is this is the fucking piece of shit that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we take a break and you play a song?
Um, yeah, we can play a song. Actually, I have a
Yeah.
song. Funny, if we're talking about,
Yeah.
cheating, this song is about two
Okay.
couples. Um,
Well, that's Hanford's gonna play us a song, guys.
oops. It's a love
Mm.
song. But I got this this is um inspired from a song called Me and Mrs.
Okay. Okay.
Jones. And I think it's Bill Withers. And this song talks about being the third wheel, the third person outside of the relationship.
Okay. Okay.
So, the girl that you like, she's actually with somebody else. But you have this crush with this person. Um, you like this person a lot, but you can't be with them, you
Mm.
know? Um,
So you like the
so
sort the song is
sometimes,
about a guy that likes a girl but he can't be with her?
yeah, because of her family or her, significant other,
Ah,
you
okay,
know.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see, the actual couple and their dynamic, but the third person, it's never really thought about, that third person, what their perspective is,
Ah,
you
okay,
know.
okay, okay.
Um, and and also it's as you get older, a lot more people are in relationships and stuff, and sometimes when you're single, you kind of wonder like, oh, like me and this person, we actually hit it off
Mm,
really well, but like she's like already married or something
yeah,
like that. And sometimes, you'd be, oh, you have a crush or whatever
yeah,
like that. But funny thing is, when I wrote this song, I wasn't in the space. It was just more like, because I sang that song a lot, me and Mrs.
yeah.
Jones, and it's a great song. You gotta YouTube that and listen
Okay.
to it. Um, I first listened to it. I first heard it in the Michael Bublé version.
I think I've
But
heard the song, but I'm not too familiar with what the meaning of the song is.
I think you have because I think one of my singing
You sang it, yeah,
competitions, you came to my singing
yeah,
competition and I
yeah,
sang it. Me and Mrs.
yeah, yeah. I think
Jones,
I've ever.
we got a thing going
Oh yeah.
on. So that's a song, yeah. But I think in that song they actually have a thing going on, and the chick is actually cheating on the guy. But anyways, this is kind of similar. The song is called "Please Show
All
Me."
right, let's hear it.
Can you? I don't know if you can hear.
I can hear it. Yeah,
Can you hear?
yeah.
Can you hear it? Yeah. If you want, I can be all the things you want me to be. If you feel what I feel, please can you show me you're for real? Yeah. I know that I can't, girl, see you every night, 'cause we have got your obligations, yeah. I have tried my best, girl, to keep you off my mind, to hide all my intentions, yeah. But we're fixated in our minds, 'cause always having a good time. But I know he's home waiting for you. And we're cruising down the highway side, becoming the perfect partner of crime. But I can't help but be your stupid fool. If you want, I can be all the things you want me to be. If you feel what I feel, please can you show me you're for real? And if you want, I can be all the things you want me to be. If you feel what I feel, please can you show me you're for
Oh my
real?
God, that was amazing. That was. You wrote that song?
Thanks. Yeah, I did. Yeah, this is a short version. If you want to listen to it, you can go on my
It's already on
Spotify
there?
and check it out, or Apple Music. Yeah, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, your favorite streaming
Dude,
platforms.
that
But you can
yeah, I'm
check it out.
definitely gonna listen to that.
It's called Please
That's a
Show Me.
really good song. I really loved it. Dude, you've been releasing songs and I haven't even I didn't even I even had a chance to listen to them, man.
Yeah, this song's really good. Actually, I have another song called Far Away, which is about long
You
distance.
want to
That
perform it?
song is I need a
Oh,
piano
that one.
with
Okay,
that
okay.
one, but people can actually listen to that on Spotify, which they can check out.
Sp-
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
check
pretty
it out
cool.
on Spotify.
Yeah.
Hanford Shum. Dude, that was amazing. I love that song, dude. I my goal now is now that I'm like I put myself out there. Like it's already on Instagram and I talk about it. Where like
Yeah.
I always wanted to sing to my wife and I would sing to her, but I guess I never got any positive feedback. It was always either in the beginning it was negative and or I don't know. Sometimes it was positive, sometimes it was negative, sometimes it was just outright like she didn't care, or would hang up on me. But anyways, I told myself that I would want to sing and get better, right? So like,
Yeah.
especially when I was going through this breakup and last year I came on Instagram, I was just like, let me see if I can do this because I was so afraid to even just sing like to a song while I was streaming, and I was like, why am I afraid? And so I challenged myself, so that's why I started to sing now. But my goal is, man, I want to be as good as you are, just to be able to like just jam out with the guitar and sing, and hopefully one day be able to sing to someone that's gonna appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like,
You find that person. You'll find
yeah,
it.
I
You'll
hope
find
so,
it.
man. I hope so. I mean, do you sing to your
I know so.
do you sing to your girlfriend?
I sing to her every fucking night. I mean, not like as like I'm professing my
Yeah,
love, but I've been writing a lot recently, and she, she's good to kind of bounce ideas off. I'm like, hey, even today, because she's in Hong Kong, I'm in Canada, so our time difference is like 12
yeah,
hours. So when she wakes up, it's like
yeah.
nighttime. And and today I was writing the song for this collab, and I just went to her. I'm like, hey, like what do you think
Mm,
about it, And she gives me, her thoughts, and you know, so I guess maybe, I guess it's not as romantic as people might think it is,
I
but
think it's romantic
I
still.
did write a song for her recently, though. Recently, I did write a new
For her?
song for
Oh,
her, with her in mind. Like I was writing
yeah.
the song, and then it was for my EP, and I'm like, oh, it's actually, for you. It's called Daisy. I can't play it yet because it's
Okay.
not released yet, but once it is, I will definitely come back on the show and play it for you all. But yeah, it's a song I just wrote for her, and yeah, it's nice. It's nice to kind of sing to some people. But I actually had exes before who thought I was too loud, or who didn't appreciate it. So again, it's about finding people who, again, you have to go through the amount of people, different types of people, to see whether they can tolerate or like some of the things
Right.
that
I
you
think that's
do,
what it comes down
you
to,
know?
right? It's where the love, where's the love is the real question. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do they feel loved by the things you do? I think it's really sweet. I think it is romantic whenever you're bringing these tunes to her and you're being like, I'm working on a song, listen to me sing, and what do you think? And does it affect you? Do you feel something? All that kind of stuff. I really like that. I really love the idea of like, um, starting a career and like having the girl in your life while you're starting off, like you're at your lows, so that when you grow and you do actually reach higher highs, that she's along for the ride. It's not just meeting the girl while you're at the top or you're in the higher points in your life. I think that's really. I think I always wanted to have someone that was there along for the rise, for the highs and lows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even honestly, there is no
Mm.
high low. Like no matter how high you get, there's always gonna be another high. So there's always gonna be someone that's gonna be in, join you on your
Right. Yeah.
journey,
Fair
you
enough. That
know?
makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. I guess. Yeah. And I guess at the end of the day, it is your journey, and you're going to be sharing it. So, whoever comes along the way is
Yeah.
that. Another quick question, going back to what I was saying before.
Hmm.
With my ex, is still creeping my account. I still catch it. Don't ask me how. But she's still creeping my account. Checking my stuff, checking everything. Um, is there a reason why you think she's doing that? Is it coming? Do you think it's coming from a place of love? Do you think it's coming from a place of maybe she's like she's still not over me, or is it just that she's curious to be like, what is he writing about me, or what is he, how let's see how much in turmoil he is, and it's that.
I don't think it's
No.
about love.
Okay, it's probably just curiosity.
If it's about love, she would have
Right,
reached
that's
out.
true. That's true. Valid point. That is a valid point.
It's curiosity, or maybe you're talking about her and she wants to know what you're talking about, so she's
Yeah.
tuning in. So Dipple's X, hello, but too late for you now.
uh,
Too late for you now.
but yeah, anyways, whatever it is, I guess life will unfold. And is it weird that like, like a part of me is still open to the idea, is as shitty as she is, a part of me still in there is just like, and I think she knows this. I think she took advantage of this quite a bit, and she probably, I don't know if she still will, but it's the it's that she knows what she knows about me is like, no matter what she does in life, no matter how hurtful that she is to me, she knows that I'd be willing to take her back.
Um, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
healthy, but it's not weird though.
Mm,
It's normal. I mean, especially if it's a relationship that you felt really
mm-hmm.
strongly about, it's something that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it. I'm pretty sure many people who've been through it felt it as well. But I think
Mm.
over time. And people say, time heals all wounds, and it
Right.
truly does in
Yeah.
everything. Um, you learn to not feel that way. But for you, if you feel really strongly about that person, it
Yeah.
takes a while,
Fine. Yeah.
And for me, I feel like, ride with it, but don't succumb to it, like if that person does try to come back, don't say yes, but you can have these feelings, you can ride with it, you can accept these
Mm.
feelings. But if there is a time and day where that person be like, hey, like I'm sorry, like let's do it again, um, I personally would be like,
Yeah.
nah, because you have no idea how hurtful like what you did
Right.
was,
Yeah.
you know. And if you want to be with me, I want to be with you. I want to put you in jail. I want to be put you in like love jail, you know. It's like you broke my heart. Like why would I release you from jail? You're gonna be in love jail, and I'm not gonna be with you. You have a life sentence. Done. Life sentence. You can't be with me no more. So you have to live with that. And I'll be the one that
Mm.
got away. I'll be the one that
Yo,
got
that sounds
away.
like a song, man. Love jail.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'll be the one that got away.
That'd be inspiration for the next song. Would
Yeah.
you be friends with an ex like that? Let's say, if, using my situation, if my ex knows that, oh, she, because I always, no matter what happens, I'll always have a soft spot for her. Um, if the girl came back in my life, and my ex came back and says, like, you know what, like, I just need you in my life in some way. I want to at least just be friends with me. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah. I
Do you think, exes should be
I
friends,
mean,
could be friends, or should be friends?
personally, I'm friendly with all my exes, even if the ones that who
Right.
cheated on me. I mean, I had one that was very, very serious. So we dated for like almost
Whoa.
5 to 6 years. So, but we were young. We were young, and anyway, she cheated on me with someone else, and now she's married to that person. I don't know if she's listening to
She
this, or
married that
will she
person that
ever
she
listen to
cheated. She
this?
she she she
Uh,
cheated on you with. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and now
Okay.
they have a kid. But throughout the years of after cheating, because I knew her for a long time. We kind of grew up with each other at school, and we didn't really date. We dated other people at school,
Mm,
just um, high school
mm,
dates, whatever. And then we kind of got together afterwards when we were adults. But I mean, we were friends, but we weren't like close friends, and that's the thing. Like we were like kind of like acquaintances, and
mm,
friendly with each other. We have each other on Instagram, Facebook. Um, but now she married the person, and I wish
yeah.
them the best at that time, and even now, and now
Yeah.
she has a kid, and we don't really talk or anything like that, but I think we're in good terms, and I mean, the thing is, I spent a lot of time with her, like we were together for like 5 years, right? Like, and also we kind of grew up with each other at school and stuff like that. So, um, like there's always gonna be like a friendship there, but will there ever be anything?
Right.
Obviously not, But I think there is an opportunity, or there is a possibility to be friends with somebody that who cheated on you before. Because people
Right.
grow, Like I don't think she's the same person as she was when she was like 20, like the young
Right.
20s, and and I guess the way I thought of it was, hey, if you're gonna cheat on me, at least find someone that you love. And I guess she's with the person that she loves, and she married him and had kids. So who am I to be
Right.
bitter
Right.
about that? Like
Right.
she found
Right.
love, you know, and at the end of the day, again, this is what I think is that there is no one person for one, like there's no one person for
Mm,
you in the world. Like I believe that because there's fucking what, seven point something
yeah.
billion people in the world. Um, there's always going to be somebody for
Right.
everybody, right? And I don't believe there's one person for me. And if my girlfriend's listening to this, and maybe she might listen to this, like it's true though. Like I don't believe there's nobody one person for like her or
Mm.
you or nobody, right? But it's the decision of wanting to be with that one person that's the
I
most
definitely agree with
important,
that. It's about
right?
like choosing that
So,
desire.
right. But if that person does not
Yeah.
reciprocate, right? Um, it's never the end of the world. It's not like, oh,
Right.
I'm done, right? Like people who go through breakups, they think that that person is great. I choose to be with that person, but if it's not reciprocal, then don't fret that there's no one
Absolutely.
else there. You know, and maybe a lot of listeners might be single. Like I don't know, like if your listeners are like demographic is or marital status or what they are, but if those, if you're listening out there and if you're in a relationship or if you're not in a relationship and you're wanting to be in a relationship and failed at it many times, just there's always going to be somebody for you and the right person for you. And there's always going to be more different people for you. And don't lose hope on that. Don't lose hope on love. Don't lose hope on being with somebody. You'll find somebody, just not at the time that you think you want
Mm.
to. It'll happen just randomly. But you had to get yourself out there. Like you can't just like sit there and wait, you know? But go out there when you're ready. When you're ready for love, when you're ready to try something different, just go out there and see what's
Do you
out there,
think in terms of that, like, let's say for example, if an ex came back, like, and this is some people say with this, the idea of like, hey, if you have an ex, do not see them for at least 5 years because the chances are if you meet them again, they may try and loop you in to a relationship again. Do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's based on their
Yeah.
actions, right? Like if they want to loop and you can feel it. But it's a happy like, and I'm with my girlfriend, and this is one time where I posted something on my stories, and my ex replied or
Oh.
commented on my story, um, and I told my girlfriend about this, and it's nothing that was heinous, right? It's
Right.
just something like, oh, like after like commenting on whatever the story is, like how are you, how's it going, this and that. But
Right.
obviously, you can feel like if things got awkward, you could feel it, you
Okay.
know. But things were just kind of like, catching up. How are you doing? I haven't spoken to you in a while, and this and that. Um, then like there's nothing wrong with that, Like I never burned bridges with any of my exes,
Mm.
even though they cheated on me.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
even
still
even for
you never
exes that,
you so even though they cheated on you, you did not burn the bridges. You did not get mad. You just
well, I
accepted it.
mean, getting mad and burning bridges two different things. Like
Right.
getting mad is at that moment in time, but burning bridges, I'm talking about like a long-term thing. Like
Right.
like I'm not be like, I'm fucking never seeing you again, this and that, like I'm just
Right.
like, you know what, like we broke up, that's it, like we're done, right? But
Mm.
many many years later, someone commented or like, social media age, right? People just
Mm.
comment out of the blue or message you, DM you, whatever, and you just kind of be nice about it, courteous about, oh, hey, how are you? Like, I haven't spoken to you a while, like, this and that, and it's great catching up, kind of thing.
Right.
They're not gonna be your BFF, right?
Mm.
But doesn't mean that you have to hold the grudge. And also holding, I don't know, for me, holding grudges is fucking tiring and it's a waste of my time.
Mm.
Like I'm tired. Like I get tired being mad at somebody for such a long time.
Right. Right.
Like I have better things to do. I have songs to write.
Absolutely.
I got
Absolutely.
meetings to go to. I got friends to see. I got my girlfriend to talk to and to hang out. I don't have
Right.
time to be mad at you.
Right.
Um, you know, so if you come back in my life as, somebody who's messaged me out of the blue, cool. Like, we can chat and stuff, but like I'm not gonna be mad at you no more because I had that phase. I'm done with that. I'm tired. It's tiring. It's physically tiring to be mad and unhappy all the fucking time at somebody
Mm.
and at yourself.
Right.
So take the time, do something more productive, make something better, do something that uh, makes other people happy.
Well,
Do something that benefits other people,
let's say for example,
right?
okay, fine, you guys broke up, whatever. You went into a relationship.
Yeah.
Let's say that broke. Now you're single again. For some reason or other, your ex finds out you're single. She reaches out to you and she's like, "Hey, Hanford, you wanna like how you've been, and do you wanna go for coffee sometime?" Would you meet up with your
I
ex?
mean, it depends on how things ended, right? Like it
Well, let's
depends.
say she cheated on you, but it was out of the blue. She messaged you, and obviously you don't hold grudges anymore, and so she reaches out to you and she's like, "Hey, Hanford, you wanna go grab some coffee sometime?" You
I
know?
mean, again,
Would
for
you
me, it's
would you
never
go
say
and meet your
never.
ex?
For me, it's never say never. There's never like people. I mean, I would think of it as how long was it from the last time, like from the day you cheated on me?
So let's say for example, number six. Let's say it's been a year.
I mean, um, a year I think is kind of short,
What about
but
2 years?
I mean, there's no specific year, right?
Okay,
But
okay.
like what I'm trying to get at is that um, people like you don't want to be burned the second time, right?
Right.
I would think that the longer the years, the I guess the more they learn from their mistakes,
Yeah.
right? So if it's like 6 months out afterwards, it's like uh, is 6 months really enough time for you to learn from your mistakes, you
Right.
know? Um, but if it's like a bunch of years and it's like 4, 5, 6 years, and that's totally different phase. Like basically being from 20 and 25 is kind of similar, but 25 to 30
Mm-hmm.
is a different age, right? It's
Right.
different. It's a different stage,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And 30 to 35 is probably the same,
Yeah.
but 35 to 40 is a little different as well,
Right.
So you kind of have to see like how like what the stage is. Like if that person is the same stage in life, um, then you have to kind of like wonder about it. But also at the same time, like again, there's no one person for you in the world.
Mm.
Like why pigeonhole yourself to this one person?
Right.
This one person that you're not even like you have no obligation to wait for or to
Mm.
be with,
Right. Right.
you know? It's like fine, like you have one person, you're married to that person, you're dating, yeah, you have the obligation to be with that person. But if you've been away from each other for such a long time, you have no obligation,
Mm.
right? You have no need to wait and be with that person. So personally, what I would do, I'll be like, nah, like I would like thanks, but no thanks, right?
Ah.
But I mean, again, people are different. Like everyone's different, right? If you have a strong feeling with that person, like maybe you might give it a shot, but like you have to be very, very um like wary of it, you know? Like and also it's not about them as much as it's about you.
Mm.
So the time when they broke up with you and cheated on you, um, did you learn from what you've done? Or did you learn not even from what you've done, but did you learn to be better as a person? Did you grow as a person? Are
Right.
you the same person as you were 2 years ago when she dumped you?
Mm.
Because if you were, you would probably end up in the same situation. But if you grew from 2 years ago to now, and you're a different man, you have I don't know, a budding career, and you're financially dependent, and you're emotionally independent, right? Sorry, if financially independent and emotionally independent, and that's very important.
Mm.
Emotionally independent.
Mm.
Then maybe you can give it a try because you're smarter than what you were before.
Right.
You have the life lessons. You've dated previously for the 2 years. You've seen different girls. You know what you like. You know what you don't like.
Mm.
Then you can approach this ex and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we can go for dinner. Why not? Because I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable with who I am.
Mm.
I'm comfortable with what I do, and what you do will not dictate what I do.
Mm.
I pick what what's going to happen afterwards,
Right.
you know? But you
Gotcha.
have to have that confidence. You have to have that knowledge of yourself before you even go to that place to be with that person.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
so it's not about duration of time, 1 year, 2 year, 4 years. What about 5 years? No, it's about how much have you grown from the day you broke up till the day connect again.
Right. That makes sense. No, you said it really well. I think that plays a big role. I mean, that's one thing I've learned from all this. I mean, I've obviously this whole experience has definitely changed me a lot. It's forced me to accept and grow and change myself, even whether I like it or not. So like,
Yeah.
though I've changed in the sense that now I don't give so many fucks anymore. I swear a lot, all these type of things. But at the same time, there's a change that comes where I I look like I used to be a really private person. My entire life was not on Instagram. Even whenever I got engaged, all that stuff, like none of it was on Instagram. She had posted it on her Instagram, but I didn't because I kept like I was a very private person. Everything in my
Hmm.
life was about with her and in our bubble. Now that everything is kind of like I've changed and now everything's in the open and I'm either like I'm writing about it or I'm podcasting about it. I'm everything's out in the open. I've also realized that for myself that like 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 the girls that I would allow myself to even date now have changed. Like I wouldn't like. There's a reason why I was single for like a solid decade. People are just like, no, I'm waiting for the right one. I'm looking for the right one. And now
I
it's just
remember,
like,
man. I told you. I told you, man. I was like, yo, fucking find a girl already, man. Don't be so picky.
I know, I remember that. That's so funny. You were there for that decade too, and
Yeah, man.
you're like, hurry up and just pick one. I'm like, you have a girlfriend yet? I'm like, nope, not yet, man.
And all of the blue, it's like out of the blue, it's like, oh, I'm married. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah,
So now
yeah.
it's like I never like my ex basically she lowered the bar so much. I don't even know if I should say lowered the bar, but it's basically like literally any girl out there, like even if she's a fucking hoe, is a contender now as long as she's honest. And it's
Wow.
like literally my ex has made it so that like almost every girl any girl is a friggin' potential because they're as long as they're honest, they're better than my ex. And it's just like wow, like I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But like shit, like it's like the girls I would never ever be into ever. It's just like okay, I guess like and if they're into me, I guess I'll give it a shot. You know, it's like wow. So I don't know if that's a rabbit hole I want to go down or not, but we'll see what
I
happens.
mean, I think it's a good rabbit hole. Do it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's good because I mean, I told you this before, so I'm not like knocking on you.
yeah,
Like, that whole decade of you not dating, I told you being too picky.
yeah,
That's something that you needed to work on. And
yeah.
I think that hey, if this allows you to be more open to people,
Yeah.
right? Then do it. And for those who don't know, I'm dating a Desi girl. Okay,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like I'm dating an Indian,
Yeah.
a South African Indian girl,
Mm.
and never in my life. And I tell her all, I'm pretty sure she never thought about dating a Chinese dude either.
Yeah.
Like we never thought about dating each other as like ever. It's like we are the most like it's like when we walk out sometimes like people will be like, oh, this is a weird combination, or it's not weird, but like it's unique,
Yeah.
especially in Hong Kong. Maybe
Right.
not in Toronto, but even in Toronto, like I don't really see a lot of Asian dudes with female Indian girls.
I
Um,
rarely see it. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's a rare combination.
Yeah.
So for me everything goes.
Mm.
Like I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever,
Yeah.
but for me it's like be open to the fact that different colors, different races, different people, different experiences in the past
Mm.
um, can potentially be somebody that you want to be with,
Yeah.
you know?
I guess so. I mean, I went from super picky to now like not picky at all as long as they're fucking honest. I mean, I'm picky to the point where like I want them to be honest and loyal.
Yeah,
Like I
but
mean, like
you still have to have a standard.
yeah.
But like don't like what I'm saying is don't be picky as in like, well, let's just say it like this. Don't date to marry,
Mm.
okay? Go into the dating go into the date
Mm.
to understand.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
go into the date to understand yourself and understand that person.
Mm.
That's it. No pressures, no strings attached, nothing. I did not meet my current girlfriend, who's a Indian girl that
Yeah.
I thought I'm gonna marry. Okay,
Yeah.
I went in there to have some fun and to learn about her and learn about myself, and that's it. Like there was no strings attached, nothing.
Right.
And so far it looks really good. But
That's
if I
awesome.
if I went into there, if I went there and be like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna fucking marry this person, she wouldn't even be like the person. Like I would have been married like a long time ago because I've been through many girls,
Yeah.
on dates or whatever like
Yeah.
that. Like I've you have to go through that.
Yeah.
But it's good to be open. It's good to try new things, meet people, and
Mm.
after the first date whether or not you want it to continue.
Right. That's
You
true.
know, like not like for me, it's not even picking a girlfriend. It's to me, it's like picking my best friend. That's it.
And then that's the goal that I always wanted. Like, and that's what I was always
Yeah,
striving for with
but
my ex. I wanted her to be my
yeah,
best friend.
yeah, but you wanted her to be your best friend, but you don't know if she wanted you to be the best friend. That's the thing,
Right, that's true. I mean,
right?
she would say it,
Like you
but
can't
I
put
don't
the
know if it was true though.
exactly. But the standard, let's say forget about, relationships, right? Or like loving couples relationships.
Mm,
Best friends, like if you want this person to be your best friend, you don't know that person wants to be your best friend, right?
right.
It's like, yo, bro, let's fucking watch the game, like, but you don't know if that person is like, I don't want to watch the game with this person,
Yeah, yeah,
like I wanna watch it with like Larry,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
So it's the same thing. I'm not like when you find a partner, you're not looking for someone that, you have cuddles and love and stuff. And yes, it's a benefit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you want to find someone that can be your best friend. But you don't know until you actually build that friendship,
Mm,
Like you can't deem someone your best friend after 2 fucking months.
right.
You'd be like, you know what, I gotta hang out with you for a couple months, and if I after that, like after meeting, for that one time, that first date, that first hangout, I like you. I'm gonna go out with you again. I wanna go karting with you again,
Mm,
and then I want to do this with you again. I want to do that with you again, and then become best friends, and then you continue to be best friends.
right.
So I guess the perspective of finding somebody that you really want to be with, is instead of thinking about it as your significant other, think of it as your best friend.
Right, absolutely, and that's the way I always saw it. I mean, to me, the idea is if you're going to have someone that's going to be your best friend, they need to be honest. They need to be able to communicate, and they need to be on the same page. They got to have that desire. It's like that puzzle piece. It has to fit. That's the first puzzle piece that's got to fit, and then everything can
Right.
follow. And I was just I
But everything you got to do though, you have to put the steps to that though,
mm,
right? Like you can't expect that person to also think of you as a best friend.
mm,
That's the most important thing.
mm,
You like, yeah, you want all these things. I want this, I want that, I want her to be this, I want but no. What does she want?
mm,
Why do you keep thinking about you? Right? Like why think about what I want?
mm,
I gotta think about what does that person want?
right,
That person, if she wants a best friend, that is this that I can provide, then great, we're a great match,
right. But if she's not
right?
looking for a best friend and
Is
she doesn't want anything, she just wants money, then I guess yeah, then
then that's okay. That's okay. That's cool. You go find your gold digger. It's on you. It's whatever.
yeah,
Like you do what you want to do.
mm,
I'm looking for a best friend.
exactly.
But the thing is, again, you can't push the best friend thing. You can't push it. I think of you as a best friend. Done. Like that's it. We're best friends for life. We're BFF. You're fucking Ted.
Mm,
Like Ted, the teddy bear.
mm,
That's it. No, right? That person has to feel the same way back
yeah, yeah.
as a friend.
No, that's true.
So if you approach friendship, if you approach dating as a friendship, things get a little bit more easier
Yeah, yeah.
because they're not any more different. Because actually, from what I've read, the older you get, 50s, 60s, 70s, you're not looking for a passionate partner that's gonna have sex with you,
Mm,
right? You want someone to be your best friend,
right,
right? So it's good to go at it as friendship first.
right. Because that's what's gonna
So
last in the end,
you know
right?
exactly, that's what's gonna last at the end. No matter what, friends are friends. Like I've been friends with you for a long time
Yeah,
now. Even though we haven't spoken for a duration of time, because I was in, China, Hong Kong, China.
yeah,
But our friendship's still
yeah,
there,
yeah.
right? But it's not like it wasn't ever like, oh, I want you to be my friend. I'm gonna force feed it with you. No, it's reciprocal. It's on your
Right, right.
terms,
No,
right?
absolutely.
If you want to put in the time, if you want to call through Skype and message me, right? No matter how much I want to message you, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I can't
That's
force
true.
feed.
No.
It's the same ideal. Same thing. You find a girl or find a boy, whatever, whoever's listening.
For the people that listen, I'm not gay, just so you guys know. But yeah,
Right. But for ladies or guys,
yeah.
whatever. If you're finding somebody, vet them as a
Mm,
friend. Don't treat that person as somebody who's, special, as in like, oh, like love
mm,
partner. No. Think of it as, you know what? I want to be with this person, but can I be friends with them
right.
first? Friends first, lover second.
No,
That's it.
I totally agree. That's what I've always been looking. It's like someone who is your best friend. I mean, that's what I mean by ride or die. It's someone who's like got your back. That's where the loyalty comes in. That's where like best friends are there for you. You know what I mean? It's that sincerity. It's like it's all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly it. But you're absolutely right, man. I think that's one thing that really needs to be checked up at first is that are they on the same page with you? Like, are they looking for that same thing? Because if they're not, Just a second, guys. We have some tech issues. Let's bring him back.
Yep, we're
Oh,
back.
we're back. We're
Not sure
back.
what happened.
Little
Not
little.
sure what happened. I think we were dropping too many good golden nuggets, and then computer couldn't handle it, you know?
Yo, it was getting really good. It was really getting really good. I know we're already at the 2 hour mark, but dude, it was just it's getting so good at the end. So I was like, okay, maybe a few minutes more. We'll take it a bit more. But yo, dude, I really liked your idea on like the whole best friend
Go
thing.
all
'Cause that's
day, man.
exactly that's exactly my idea as well of just like what I'm looking for, because that's where that loyalty, that communication, that honesty is. So let's see what happens, man. I mean, you obviously are a guy that has a ton more experience than I do in the dating scene. You've obviously done very well in the dating scene. So that makes sense, you know.
Just got lucky, man. Just got lucky. I mean, honestly, before I met my girlfriend, I was still looking, but I wasn't really actively looking. I was just kind of, fucking around and
Yeah.
trying to see different things. And you gotta be open to it, you know? I mean, we had a good 6 months being together. I mean, we were kind of long distance. I mean, I call short distance because she was in China, I was in Hong Kong.
Right.
Um, and without being too political, it's kind of different, but it's kind of the same.
Mm.
But we were kind of 3 hours train, 2 hours train apart from each other. Um, so I call it a short distance
Mm.
relationship.
I like that word.
But it was still difficult though, you know. But at that time when we were starting out, 6 months, like we were still learning. Not even 6 months. Probably she thought it was like, I mean, she says 8 months or so.
Mm.
We were still kind of learning how to be together.
Mm.
I mean, be non-single,
Yeah.
you know. I love single life.
Yeah.
I really do.
Mm.
I mean, I like independence.
Yeah.
I like being, um, you know, I like spending time by myself. I feel really comfortable in my own space, you know.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to kind of like open that up and enjoy being with other people and share things. You know, I didn't like to report to someone else like, oh, I'm going out or
Yeah.
I'm doing this with this person. Like I just want to do what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my personality.
I'm the
And
opposite. I love telling her where I'm going, everything that's going through my head, like everything. I mean,
Right.
I loved all of that, but I think now I'm just getting used to now being single again, and it's slowly settling in. Like, okay, I'm single now. Like, I just get used to it, and I'm slowly becoming a lot more comfortable and liking it a lot more now. Like, it's slowly getting there, but as each
Yeah.
step, it's just like I feel the release happening. Like, I'm finally letting her go now. Like I'm finally letting my ex go now. Like, just okay, like she's not mine. Whereas before for a solid 2 years, I was like, no, she's mine, she's mine, she's mine, and now it's just like, okay, she's not mine. Like, and it's just finally letting go and kind of healing and just kind of becoming, okay, I just all I have is this and all I have is me, and just let's work on this. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just work on yourself and be with yourself and be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And again, it's when you get to a when you get to a relationship with yourself where you're comfortable with yourself and you love yourself more than you ever fucking have, and you're comfortable with it, that is the perfect opportunity. If not an opportunity, that's perfect time when to go out and meet somebody, you know. And so when I was single, I really enjoyed being single. I like to not report and stuff like that, and I learned how to do that, to let somebody in my life. And but but I still enjoy that flexibility. Like even now, um I like to have my
Mm-hmm.
independence. And that's one of the things I learned from being with so many different girls, is that I need to find somebody that can, obviously not give me the independence that I can, like, I truly want, because I like to be like alone for like forever
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Like I like to be, but obviously, if you're in a relationship, you have to have a balance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she lets me to kind of, be independent as much as I want to, but also, not to full extent that I would love to. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's finding somebody that can accept you the way you are, your
Yeah.
flaws. Um, but you, again, they don't come, growing on every fucking tree. Like you have to really search for them. You have to go. Like I had to go to China and date a random South African Indian chick to finally find somebody that can actually deal with this fucking mess that I am.
Right.
Like I'm like, let's not kid ourselves. Like I am a
Right.
mess at times. Like I think we all have our weaknesses and
Right.
issues. Like, and I have my own issues. And sometimes I wonder, like, how does she even like deal with like all this junk, you
Yeah.
know?
I love that
Kudos
idea.
to
That's like the
her.
most romantic idea. You talk about, like, working yourself, and then when you absolutely love yourself, then go date. But now to me, it's just like I want them, whoever I'm dating, to know that, like, I'm a, like, love my, like, check out my flaws. This is the mess I am. Like, do you love this? Because I know if I put on my best self, you're gonna love that. But I don't give a fuck about that. I want you to love the mess, because that's what is actually there that people don't like. And the question is, do you like that? Can you fall in love with
Yeah.
my mess? And
Like, can you not even fall in love with it? Can you just deal with
yeah.
it? Like my girlfriend hates some of my
Yeah.
mess, but like she can deal with it. That's the most important thing. Just deal with it,
Uh,
right? But these people, they don't come like
right.
everywhere. I've dated more than, I don't know the number, but I dated a lot of
Mm.
chicks, and not every chick can deal with as much shit as my girlfriend. And kudos to her if she's still listening now after like fucking 2 hours of this podcast. Kudos to you, first of all, for listening that long, and second of all, kudos for you to pick up on my shit, stick with it, because I got a lot of shit,
Yeah.
and finding somebody that can actually deal with it is very, very important. And it doesn't go on trees. So that's why, again, it's very important to play with the numbers, go out there, and not put all your eggs in one basket, and go on that journey. And it's a fun journey, that single life journey, to find that one person. You're like fucking Frodo looking for the ring.
That's so. I love that. I love that analogy.
Enjoy that journey, and look for that fucking ring. But don't be scared of not looking for that ring. You might fucking hurt, you might be barefoot the whole damn
Oh,
time, but go for that journey. Do it,
be
Yeah,
Frodo.
and move. Be fucking Frodo, man. Be Frodo, look for that ring, and save the
Yeah,
world, you
that's
know?
awesome.
That's it.
I love that analogy. That's amazing. I guess as we're already on overtime, so I guess we'll end the podcast here, dude. It was just getting so good towards the end. We gotta do this again. I'm definitely gonna bring Hanford back. really soon, probably back in like December, even though December's already pretty much here. Because it's like, dude, we talk for hours and like time just flies. I'm like,
We
that could
do.
have been a podcast. But dude, let's definitely do that again. Um, you guys, make sure you guys follow Hanford Shum on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Um, I'll have his link down in the bio. And yo, it was awesome talking with you, brother, man. We're
Yeah,
gonna do this
man.
again.
Always a
And,
pleasure.
your next song that you're gonna
Definitely.
release is you're gonna come on and you're gonna play us another bit like that. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, hey, next time I come in, I'll play you guys a song. So if there's enough demand for it, I'll definitely do
Yeah,
it.
let's do it. Let's do it up. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks to everybody who's watching this on replay, and thanks to everybody who tuned in and watched it live. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. Take care, guys.
Take care.